Good morning. Welcome in. This update presented by DraftKings. That one stings for the Padres. They lose the series to the Pirates 2-1 after a 3-2 loss yesterday at Petco Park. Padres now sitting 6.5 games out of that final wild card spot with just 4 games before the trade deadline. Big decisions for AJ Preller and Peter Seidler coming up over the next week. NL West yesterday, Giants beat the A's 8-3. D-backs lose to the Cardinals 11-7. Dodgers fall to the Blue Jays 8-1. Elsewhere in baseball, the Angels have officially pulled Shohei Ohtani off the trade market. The superstar continues to dominate. Angels playing for this season right now must be nice. And in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers takes a $35 million pay cut with the Jets to give his new team the best shot at winning a Super Bowl with him as the quarterback. This update was presented by DraftKings.
Yes, the clock cannot get any bigger here in the studio. It's massive up there.
The clock?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it
it a
bigger.
lot. I'm having headphone issues. Hang on, let me see if I can fix this real quick. Hang on. Out. There we do that. And there we go. It's working.
Can you hear
now.
me?
I can hear you now.
Travis, I'm here.
Woo! I'm back,
here,
everybody.
And I feel like dog.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same, man. Did you do pork chops last night for dinner?
No, I did chicken, and it's so much worse. Pork chop's so much better.
Okay, so you know what I did last night? Ground beef. I'm like, I'm going to take a page out of the Ben Fletcher handbook. I'm going to go with some ground beef, just some good old standard ground beef, little salt. Yeah, I mean, it was okay.
That's my lunch today, man.
Well, I put some pepper on it. I needed to change it up a little.
We got to treat ourselves. You know what I had last night as a treat for myself because I was miserable and Kendall was like, "Here, eat this."
If you say Taco Bell, I swear.
No. It was a little square of cheddar cheese.
Ooh.
And dude, I honestly, and she can vouch for this, I almost cried because it tastes so good.
Dude, it's only been 3 days of the carnivore diet.
Yeah, but it's been like a week and a half to 2 weeks of like keto to carnivore to like dieting and not eating what we want to eat.
That is correct. And what I want to eat is like a biscuit or a roll.
With lots of butter.
Yeah.
Maybe cinnamon butter.
Maybe just one of those sourdough round loaves.
But like, you know what sounds so good?
Anything other than ground
sandwich
beef
from the Remy.
Oh,
like with lots of bread and the French fries and mac and cheese. Carbs. I need carbs, Travis.
When is this over? When
is our carb only diet?
Is there a carb only diet?
I don't know.
I would succeed. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch here, by the way, on a Thursday. I must ask you a question Thursday. Rich out this week. He is on vacay. He's hanging out with the family back east. So getting some much needed time off, recharge the batteries. He'll be back next week. We'll party on. Coming up on the show a little bit later today, some Rod Stewart tickets. He'll be at North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on August 5th. Danny Elfman will be at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on August 3rd. We have those tickets to give away as well. You can go to Ticketmaster.com to buy them, but just keep listening for your chance to win. A lot of great things happening today because, we're going to have to get to the Padres, which the roller coaster, now we're in the low again. But also there was
underwater.
It does feel that way. It does definitely feel that way. And we kind of are because, look, there are 4 games to the trade deadline. They are 5 games under 500. So by the time the trade deadline gets here.
Isn't it 6?
6 days?
6 games under the 500?
Oh, maybe there's 6. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's 6 games under 500.
Yeah, well, there's 6.5 back of that final wild card spot. You're right. 5 games.
5 games under 500. So even if they went 4 in a row here, which they haven't done all season, they would get to the trade deadline under 500. And that doesn't sound like a team that should be buying to make a push, to be quite honest, because you do have to look at your next year. You do have to look at next season and go, what can we do right now that would make next year the year? Now, as a fan, it bums you out because you've got 59 games left of the season. That if you start to wave the white flag right now as a fan, you go, well, what do I do? Who am I watching then? What am I going to tune into the Angels that picked up? Who did they pick up? What was the pitcher that they picked up?
They got rid of Noah Syndergaard.
They got rid of Syndergaard. Man,
the Dodgers got rid of Syndergaard. Sorry.
The Dodgers got rid of Syndergaard. The Angels picked up Lucas Giolito.
Oh yeah, apparently the Padres were in on him too.
Right, which
Like, what
made
the hell?
me, yeah, that made me cringe. Now I'm hoping they just wrote this in the stories to make me go, "Oh God, what is happening?" Like
Was
just
that
to poke at me.
Was that Jeff Sanders who had that report
Yeah, I
yesterday?
believe that's who that was. Which something tells me that's fake news.
I don't know.
Why?
Jeff
Why
is
would
pretty
they?
good.
Why would they be in on that?
Because AJ has this false sense of security. Whatever. If you want to watch the show, by the way, we're up on YouTube. Big Rich TD Fletch. Just type that into YouTube and you'll find us. It's kind of fun seeing Travis and I wither away as we speak because we're starving.
Do you feel like you don't have any energy at this moment?
No, I don't. I think I have a lot of negative energy, which is not good either.
I feel like I am, like you talk about feeling like you're underwater as a Padre fan at the moment. I feel like I am just trying to truck through massive amounts of mud. Like I can barely get around. Now I will say, I do feel like I've dropped a couple pounds. I do
know for a
feel
fact I have.
a little more limber, but I'm running out of gas at this moment because ground beef and ground chicken are not fueling me to get there. Now, maybe if I was a little bit better at prepping and went, you know what, I'm going to grill some chicken up. I'm going to squeeze a little lemon on this thing. Am I allowed to do that?
Sure.
I mean, probably not on the carnivore diet since there's no fruit, there's no vegetables. It's literally just pounds of meat. That's all you're going to eat ever. You can't eat a square of cheese.
I did though.
You did though, and God, that's good.
Some articles say that you could have hard cheeses.
Oh, that's right. It is about a 50-50 shot at this.
Which
like
it was literally just like, the blocks of Tillamook.
Yeah.
Like I took a slice out of it and just ate that.
That's so good.
And it was delicious. It was incredible.
That is so good.
It was like probably a millimeter thick. Like it was tiny, but I loved it so much.
I love cheese.
And I was taking these little tiny nibbles out of it to make sure it could last as long as possible.
Dude, I'm telling you, a block of cheddar cheese, just cutting off a slice and then maybe taking like 2 pieces of salami and wrapping it around that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like a little salami tortilla on the cheese.
You're preaching to the choir.
That is good. Real good. Then if you want to kick it up a notch, maybe just squeeze a cracker in there. Woo! Come on.
Golly.
Is there that diet? Is there the charcuterie diet?
Yeah, the charcuterie diet. I'd be down.
That'd be awesome.
Have some charcutes.
We
Okay, so that was how we got there from telling you to go watch our YouTube page, which is at Big Rich TD Fletch again. Follow us on Twitter at Big Rich TD and Fletch, and you will find a link there that will take you to sportssd.com that will show you how to sign up to win a free round of golf with Big Rich TD and Fletch. And a round of golf with us, I promise we will not be adhering to any sort of diet when we're golfing because that's one of our rules. That's in the bylaws that we can do whatever we want when we're golfing because we're golfing and we're having fun.
Yeah.
But it'll be a great time, and we can't wait to get out there with the listener. Skill level does not matter. If you've never picked up golf clubs before, who cares? Just come hang out with us.
Right. Indeed. But with the Padres, man, they come out flat against the Pirates.
Yeah, no
fight at all, which that makes you go, okay, I'm giving up. I mean, as a fan, you get that feeling because how can you not come out and just want to beat down these Pirates after they beamed your captain the day before? I don't get it. And it felt like the Padres were fired up until we saw them come out and play last night.
And we said yesterday on the show, like, there's been no bigger reason to be ready for a game than there would have been for yesterday's game.
Right.
And the fact that they came out and still looked like that, it's inexcusable. And I'm sick of using that word with this team.
Right.
But then you get to the ninth inning and it does look like there's some fight. Bogarts walks, Campy gets a hit, bases end up loaded. Soto walks, that scores a run. Soto did come into pinch hit after a scheduled day off.
Nice.
But then you go back-to-back at-bats where it's a foul out and a strikeout. And it's so fitting that with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth inning, Trent Grisham is the one up at bat, and he just kind of does what he's done all year.
Yeah.
Strikes out.
Yeah. And you're
he's
right.
hitting like 210 right now. Like, how can you carry a center fielder that's hitting 210?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's when I look at roster construction. I'm like, AJ, like, I understand this team has a lot of stars on it, but it's not a well-constructed roster.
How about Tatis and that grab in the 7th?
Dude, he's incredible.
He's incredible.
He's amazing.
And I got to tell you, I kind of went, I think I want to see him at shortstop. Let's just move it around.
Screw it.
Yeah,
why not?
Make it happen, Captain. I mean, that was actually my thought of, look, I mean, this is a guy that's actually producing on the team. He's out there just laying it out. If he wants to play shortstop, maybe you go, okay, you know what? You've done your time. Let's move you back.
I was hesitant on that opinion early in the year. A couple people have brought that up to me, and not just on the air, but at this point, why not?
Mhm.
I mean, you're really still, I mean, you're only 5 games under 500. I know I say only, and it feels like there's this massive gap, but there's really not. Like, you can make up 6.5 games. You can do that. Manny Machado talked post game about that very fact, and we'll play that audio for you. But you can do it. It's just that this team has shown us nothing that shows that they can do it.
Right.
And so if you move Tatis to short, maybe that changes things. I don't know. Do you have any faith that that would be the magic elixir that would change everything for this Padres team?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it wouldn't work when you look at this collection of players. I don't know why there wouldn't be a team gelling. They look like they're having fun in the dugout. They look like they're laughing. They look like they're friends. They look like they're having fun when they're winning out on the field. So, I mean, it just doesn't look like you see a clear division of, oh, this guy must be a bad apple in the locker room. Oh, this is where I could see this team splintering apart. You don't see that. There's not signs of that. So it's as a fan sitting back here looking at this, you're going, I don't know what they're supposed to do. And I'm imagining AJ Preller, Bob Melvin, Peter Seidler, they're thinking the same thing. Why is this not working?
It doesn't make sense. Now, I wasn't able to catch the wrap-up show last night with John and Jim on YouTube, but I was able to listen to part of their end of their radio show yesterday when the Padres were already done. I listened to about 20 minutes of it, and they were talking about the fact that there's too many stars in the room. And they were just throwing out possible reasons for why this thing is falling apart on them. And it's the fact that, well, last year, Manny Machado was like the guy,
Right.
and he was like one of the only stars on this Padres team, at least on the offensive side. And Manny had one of the better seasons of his career, and the Padres had one of the best seasons in the history of the franchise after the regular season because they were able to go all the way through to the NLCS. And this year, if the rumors about butting heads in the locker room between Manny Machado and Xander Bogaerts are true, which I have no idea if they are, it's just stuff that we've heard. If that's true, that could be just pointing to a reason like, oh, are there too many people trying to be leaders on this team? And is the message getting diluted? Is Bob Melvin not really in control of this thing? Like, I feel like there's a lot of reasons that'll come out eventually of why the 2023 Padres have stunk so badly. But at this point, it just feels like a waste of time to even try to communicate it because the fact of the matter is they aren't fighting. They aren't trying hard. Well, yesterday was the perfect example. The first 6-7 innings of that game, it was pointless. And after watching what happened 2 days ago, you're thinking, oh my God, if there's a reason for them to fight, if there's a reason for them to come together, this would be the prime example for them to show it. And they failed that test.
Yeah, no. And I get the argument. I mean, it happens. You can see that in other places. And maybe that is happening here. You have too many stars in the room. It's just hard for me to think you have too many stars in the room is a problem. While singularity baseball, when you walk up to the plate, you can't hit the ball.
It's an individual game.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it's hard for me to wrap my head around that. But you know, unless they just have the thought of, you know what, the guy behind me can do it. I don't know. I can't imagine that as a professional athlete. Doesn't seem possible.
No.
But Manny Machado, yeah, he spoke after the game, and we're going to break this up into a couple little pieces.
Yeah, it's about 2.5 minutes. It was the media scrum. This is from Marty Caswell's YouTube page. And she asked a couple questions. Kevin Acey asked the majority. AJ Cassavell gets in there. But it's really just starts off talking about the loss. And then if this game was a bigger showing of what the whole season has been like for the Padres, take a listen.
We lost. That's all that matters. Should have won that game.
What is there at this point to believe that you guys are contenders or can be contenders after you dropped 2?
We're going to be contenders till we're out. We're going to play as best as baseball we could possibly play till the end. And whenever that day comes, that day is. But so now we still gotta go. We're still gonna reach it.
What happens 2 or 3 at home to the Royals, to the Nationals, to the Pirates?
All in the past. Move on to tomorrow. Have an off day, enjoy it, move on, win more games.
The winnable games, the close games that you guys have struggled
Again, win games. I don't know what the hell needs to change. We need to play better. And ultimately, leave those games in the past. Go out there and look for the future. Continue playing.
Is that kind of the key, to forget what has happened to this point and go forward?
And what are we gonna do? Can we switch it? Can you call it in? Can you call it into the league and switch it to a W?
No.
No, then forget about it. Move on. That's it. It's in the past.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's saying the same thing over and over again because that's all there is to say. Win games. You go win games. And it does sound like he doesn't know either. I mean, he doesn't know what the problem is.
It's pretty obvious to me, at least.
Is what the problem is, or that he doesn't know what the problem is?
No, what the problem is. The problem is there's zero fight in this team.
Well, yeah, there's that.
It seems like there's zero emotional.
But
Like Manny Machado right there, he sounds like he cares a lot. And believe me, all these guys care.
Mhm.
But when you see the first 6 innings of that game yesterday, you could have fooled me.
right.
Didn't really look like they cared all that much.
Right. And I mean, and that's where we're trying to dig up is okay, if the problem is there's no fight in the team, why is there no fight in the team? I mean, why? How could you not look at this roster and go, this is a World Series roster? This is a team that could make massive waves throughout Major League Baseball for a long time if you want to lock it all up. I mean, these are a collection of absolute superstars. So there shouldn't be a reason you're sitting here going, yeah, I don't know why we can't even get even on the season. We've done it one time this season. I don't know why if we get to extra innings, we lose. I don't know why if we have a lead and it's a close lead, it goes to extra innings. I don't know why if we get behind early, we can't catch up. I don't know why any of this isn't working. I don't know why that we're only getting one hit on a guy that has a 6 ERA for his career, or we're not getting any hits on a guy who is brand new to the league, hasn't pitched ever to any Major League Baseball player, and we fall behind. I don't know why any of it's working. There's got to be something. There's got to be some kind of stone you can uncover. It's just baffling as to how they haven't found that.
Text line's open, 70470. Start your message with team from the 408 this morning. Fletch jinxed it once he said Manny being hit was the best thing for this team. Mother sucker. I said Manny being hit could be the best thing for this team if they used it as motivation and came out and had a big game against the Pirates. They clearly didn't do that. 615. Woo! When I was afraid you guys were going to call out of work when you heard that Snead O'Connor died. Kidding.
Sinead. You don't know who Sinead O'Connor is?
I'm assuming wrestling.
What?
No?
It's a singer.
Okay, sorry. Kidding. I thought you were going to call out because of the series loss to the Pirates.
Nothing compares.
I saw that was on the rundown,
to
but
you.
I didn't Google it. Sorry. Is it a woman, man?
It's a woman.
Okay.
Yeah, she had a couple of massive hits in the 80s, I guess. Maybe it was early 90s.
Before I was born.
Yeah, before you were born. But nothing compares to you is I mean, it's huge.
Give me a couple bars.
Nothing compares. Nothing compares to you. You're welcome.
I don't know if I know that one.
How would you not know that?
I don't know.
Look it up. Look it up and play that thing.
What's it called?
Nothing compares to you. Come on. I do believe she was also heavily involved in the Hands Across America thing that happened in the 80s. Do you remember that? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm making that up. But Sinead O'Connor was only 56 when she passed away. No details yet on how she passed away, but she did, unfortunately. So hearts go out to her family and those who loved her. But she made a big impact on a lot of people, including Conor McGregor, that we'll get to a little bit later. Pretty cool, actually. No way on Shohei, by the way. That all rhymed. All that.
That's not bad.
No way on Shohei. By the way, Shohei Ohtani off the market come the trade deadline. So nobody's vying for him because the Angels apparently have decided we're going to make a run. We feel like we can make a run here in the playoffs and we're going to make it happen. What's the Angels record right now?
I don't know, but it must be nice to be playing for right now.
Yeah, let me see. MLB standings. My voice cracks. Where are we at? Okay. I can't even find them. Where are they at in the list? They're 52-49. Not that much better than the Padres, really. I mean,
Well, it's flipped.
yeah, it is. Well, yeah, it is flipped. And that's the thing. You brought it up. The Padres not that far back. It's not an insurmountable number. It's just the way this team has been playing. It makes it seem like it's an insurmountable number, which is a problem. But Manny Machado, he had more to say, right, about the problems here.
Yes, he did. And honestly, it's more of the same. But we can listen to the next half of it.
Yeah.
More Manny Machado in the scrum yesterday after the game.
Why is your faith still such that you believe that you will be contenders and be able to play your best baseball?
Because we got a good ass team in here, and we believe in each other. Nobody says it's going to be easy. No. Winning a championship is the hardest thing in all of baseball, all of sports. So, you got to grind through things and continue it. I don't even think there's a handful of teams that everything goes perfect and they still lose. And then there's teams that grind through a whole season and win it. So, we're going to continue to fight. Nobody said this was going to be easy. Nobody's going to hand it to us. That's not handed. That's earned. So we got to continue to go out there and grind and try to earn it. So, just keep playing.
Yeah, you've been very consistent in your belief that the team will just continue to fight away. Do you think that your teammates have that same sort of feeling that you do?
Yeah, I mean, everybody in here, we all want to go out there and win. We don't want to lose, and but sometimes things don't turn out your way, and it's unfortunately it's been happening more than we want to. But we still got a lot of baseball games to be played, and we got to continue. Continue grinding, continue fighting, and we still got a chance.
I mean, he's talking about the fight. He's talking about what needs to happen. And he does say that nobody wants to lose. And I don't think he's wrong there. But there may be a bit of complacency. There may be a bit of, look, I'm not getting it done, but I think somebody else can step up and do it because they should have better stats to me. They should have better numbers. I don't really know. My feeling is there's kind of a head game going on right now. They got behind early. They have struggled throughout the entire season. And now it's in their head that if they get into a struggle, they overthink it. They overcomplicate it. They can't hit. There's the offense is just abysmal. I mean, it's awful. Or it'll be 3 games later and they put up 14 runs. All of a sudden they find it and they go for it. But good Lord. I mean, where do you go? Where do you go from here? And what do you do in 5 days to a trade deadline?
I think it's absurd to stand pat. I think it's I'm more agreeing with Ken Rosenthal every single day. It's insane if you were to keep Josh Hader and Blake Snell. Now, maybe keep one of them. I can understand it. On Darren's show yesterday, I was filling in. We talked with Darnay Tripp, and he kind of laid out the scenario in which you trade Hader and keep Snell. And look, it makes sense because you trade Hader, you still have Suarez, who you paid to be your closer, to fill into that role. And you can get a haul back for Hader right now because nobody in baseball was better than Josh Hader in the playoffs last year. Set an MLB record with 9 straight strikeouts in the postseason. So and it's just a lot harder to find a really good starting pitcher. So Blake Snell, who's trending towards being near the top of the Cy Young race by the end of the year, he's been that good this season. Keeping him makes a little more sense, but to not move either of them and try to replenish this AAA system and try to bring in some cheap but effective pieces that can help supplement the people around Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis and Juan Soto for next season, and Xander Bogaerts on that list as well, if he can kind of figure it out. It's asinine to me that you wouldn't do that. Because remember, 3 months ago when we talked to Kevin Acee, he told us this is not going to be the plan moving forward. They have to get cheaper. And not only do they have to get cheaper, they have to get more effective. You need a couple dudes who are making $800,000 to $1 million a year, who aren't making very much money, who are still productive on the field.
Mhm.
You know who's done that perfectly over the last 2 decades, and it hasn't turned into a World Series outside of the Mickey Mouse one? And everyone's going to hate to hear this, but the Los Angeles Dodgers have done that so freaking well. They have been able to have guys producing on their major league roster who are making less than $1 million a year.
Well, look, I mean, the Dodgers have done a great job of making it feel like it is a privilege to be a Dodger. And the Padres, I feel like, need to do the same thing. And I don't know why you wouldn't feel that way. I mean, look at this team, look at this city, look at this stadium, look at this owner. I mean, there's so much that's gone into it. So I think when you breed that culture, you get that feeling you're going to get a little more out of each of the players. But it is a baffling thing that we'll continue to talk about. We also we need to get
that wasn't supposed to be 24 minutes of Padres shaming.
It wasn't supposed to be.
We have some awesome sound from Joey Votto, who went full WWE on Mad Dog.
Right, that's
incredible.
That's the fight we need. We'll get to him. Also, how bad must your work environment be if $1 billion can't keep an employee there? We'll talk about it coming up next.
Joey Votto went full WWE on Chris Mad Dog Russo's radio show. We'll play it for you coming up next. This update is presented by DraftKings. We're going to start off here with the Padres. That one stung a little bit last night. Got to be honest, or yesterday afternoon. The Padres lose 3-2 to the Pirates. That loses the series 2-1. With 4 games before the trade deadline, Padres are 6.5 games out of that final wild card spot. Some big decisions for AJ Preller and Peter Seidler over the next week. NL West yesterday, Giants beat the A's 8-3. D-backs lose to the Cardinals 11-7. Dodgers fall to the Blue Jays 8-1. Elsewhere in baseball, the Angels have officially pulled Shohei Ohtani off the trade block as the superstar continues to dominate. Angels are playing for this season. They're playing for right now. And in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers takes a $35 million pay cut with the Jets to give his new team the best shot at winning a Super Bowl with him. This update was presented by DraftKings.
Big Rich, CD, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760. Couple giveaways we'll be doing a little bit later. Rod Stewart, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. That's August 5th. Danny Elfman, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. That's August 3rd. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Keep listening for your chance to win. I think we'll do the same thing, man. We'll do next hour. Must ask you a question, but the same thing being dealer's choice. When the contestant gets on the line, they can tell us what they want to play for, and that's what we'll do.
Have you seen the lineup that's coming to North Island Credit Union over the next, 2-3 weeks?
I have not seen it. I just know some of the artists.
So we've given away tickets to pretty much all of them,
right?
This week, or next week, I guess, is the Danny Elfman, Rod Stewart week. 2 weeks after that, Post Malone on a Sunday.
It's going to be crazy.
Which I'm buying my tickets for that.
Okay.
And then the following Friday after that, Dierks Bentley
with
Jordan Davis opening.
That's going to be a good show.
Like
that's
Jordan Davis might
right
be
there.
equal to Dierks Bentley in terms of popularity right now, but Dierks just has the legacy.
You think?
Jordan Davis is huge.
Well, I mean, Dierks has way more hits.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's been doing it for 20 years. Jordan Davis has been doing it for like 3.
I'm going to go see Dave Matthews Band out in Irvine in a month. Yeah. That's Dave Matthews Band? Sounds more like Pearl Jam.
Same thing.
No, what? Come on now. Come on. I'm excited. Dave Matthews Band, I've actually seen a couple of times now. I'm a big Dave Matthews fan, so I'm pumped. Not as pumped as Joey Votto, though. I mean, that guy's fired up. And I like it. In fact, I want more of that here in San Diego. Did you spill in there? Because it doesn't matter.
Little coffee.
No, nobody's here to care.
Little coffee on the ground.
Nobody's here
Actually
to
on the
care.
desk.
Uh-oh. Well, that's fine.
Okay,
It's
so
fine.
this story goes back a couple months, and Joey Votto does a good job of explaining it. But Chris Mad Dog Russo, I mean, he's a legend in the sports radio game. One of the people that kind of started it, along with Steve Hartman, Philly Billy. You all know the story. But Chris Mad Dog Russo is one of the GOATs. He's one of the GOATs because he's never really held back, and he's always been very open and honest about how he feels or how he wants the audience to think he feels. And he said some stuff about Joey Votto and Zach Greinke about 3 months ago, talking about their candidacy for the Hall of Fames, even though both of them are still playing. And it got back to Joey Votto. And so Joey Votto was on Mad Dog's show yesterday, and this is what he had to say.
The way you finished that up, ashamed of yourself, was very WWE.
The whole thing
Yeah.
was.
Oh, it was
And
great.
look, Joey Votto was having fun with it. Who knows about Joey Votto in the Hall of Fame? I certainly think he probably has the career to do it. But that
He's a
was
Hall of
so
very good
funny.
ball player.
All very good ball players.
It's pretty funny. Look, that's the fight that I want out here. That's the fight I want in these Padres. Let's do this thing. Hey, how bad must your workplace be if they said, we'll give you $1 billion to work here, and you said, nah?
Yeah, I'd accept it no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what.
Pretty much.
I mean, it wouldn't matter what they did.
There's a lot that I would do for a bill.
So what was it, Monday that we talked about Kylian Mbappe? He was offered a $1.1 billion contract to play in the Saudi league. Well, or Al Hilals, is that the league name?
Yeah.
Okay, fair
Well,
enough.
that might be the group that's investing. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's all very confusing.
Whatever it is, to play with the Saudis, $1.1 billion. He rejected it, turned it down.
So J Riff actually had some good insight on this yesterday. How he was talking about it. It's essentially the same reason Rory McIlroy turned down going to live golf.
Because it's so heated with Saudi Arabia.
Not necessarily. Like, the money's the money. Like, it'd be hard pressed to tell someone to turn down $400 million in Rory's case, or something close to that. Or in this case, I think it ended up being $776 million.
Yeah.
After all the leaving fees and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Mbappe is still a very young soccer player, and he still has a lot of legacy to build. And that can't be done if you're playing for the Saudis. So for him, it's more pride in his career moving forward and being able to play in the Champions League or the Premier League, whatever the top one is over there. And so that's more the reason why Mbappe refused it, was because he wants to be able to build his legacy as one of the greatest soccer players of all time. And he didn't want to do that in Saudi Arabia or with their money.
Also, there's report that he already signed a deal with Real Madrid.
And it's probably massive.
But it's not $1 billion.
No, it's not $1 billion, but still, it's enough money to never have to worry about money ever again. It's like Aaron Rodgers taking a $35 million pay cut. He's already made enough money to never have to worry about money again.
Right.
And the $35 million pay cut means he's still going to be making around $30 million a year. Like, aw, shucks. Might as well try to win a Super Bowl for the legacy.
Yeah, and again, that's another talk of how bad is the workplace if you're like, you know what, I'll take 30 million less to work somewhere else.
Dude, if I'm the Packers, I'm pretty pissed this morning. If I'm the Packers fans, I'm pretty pissed this morning because Aaron never did that for them.
Right.
Like, he never took less, any less than he was worth with the Green Bay Packers. In fact, there were a lot of situations where he was restructuring his contract pretty much every year to make more money when he was with the Packers.
You owe me more, and I'll talk to you more about my MVP seasons.
Like, this came out of left field. I did not see it coming, but here's Aaron's. He's saying, I need a Super Bowl and I need one more before I'm out. And now all of a sudden, guess who's visiting the Jets this weekend? He's jumping on a plane today.
Tom
His
Brady.
name is Dalvin Cook.
Oh, I mean, That would be huge. That would be huge, and probably needed. By the way,
Yeah, I mean, they have Breece Hall, who's coming off an injury. He was great as a rookie, but who knows? Dalvin Cook's been 1,000-yard rusher the last 4 seasons.
yeah. I mean, that would be great for all parties involved there, in my personal opinion. Are they better than the Chiefs at that point?
Look, the Jets had a top 5 defense last year. Robert Saleh is a defensive head coach, but they have offensive coordinators in place, obviously. If they can add some pieces here to make this offense a little more firepower, and by the way, they have Aaron freaking Rodgers. The Jets are a force, man. With him taking that pay cut, they can add.
Right.
They can add to the offensive line. They can add to the backfield. Like if a guy like Dalvin Cook comes in, they can add to the wide receiver group. I don't know who necessarily is out there right now, but there's stuff that can happen between now and the start of the season where the Jets could look like a completely different offense than they were last year.
I agree. They look like a team. If those pieces were to be put in place, they look like a team that could make a run. They look like a team that could be a Super Bowl contender team. The problem is when I go, well, who do they got to go up against? Oh, the Chiefs. That is a massive roadblock.
Yeah.
And the X factor there is Patrick Mahomes. How do you bet against Patrick Mahomes, even if you do have Aaron Rodgers on the other side?
Well, and in the Jets division, I mean, you got the Bills and the Dolphins and the Patriots. It's not like it's an easy division.
No, not at all. However, I mean, you put those pieces in place, and all of a sudden, instead of me saying the Bills win that division, I probably say the Jets.
It's
I would
wild.
probably go the Jets. Yeah, it's absolutely wild, but a $35 million pay cut.
Text line is open this morning, 70470. Start your message with team. Our buddy Paris weighing in. I was really hoping that Grisham would come through with the walk-off hit to boost this team's ego, but no.
Yeah.
That was a depressing strikeout. I mean, so Taylor Cowley, the guy who was starting in place of Juan Soto yesterday, he fouls out to the third baseman, and that just felt like a non-competitive AB. And then Trent Grisham gets up, bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. Everybody's been in that scenario in their backyard playing wiffle ball with their older brother. He just couldn't come through, strikes out. And I feel like that's the 3rd or 4th time that's happened this season, where it's bases loaded, late innings. Yeah. Grisham has an opportunity to come through with a big hit, and he just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Now, Manny Machado also struck out in that inning. He was the first batter up. He struck out. So it's not like you can throw all the blame on Grisham, but it felt like there was some momentum starting. There was fight in the 9th inning. It's like a game you need to win against the Pirates, and then just non-competitive ABs.
Yeah, but it was just enough fight to keep me interested. Like it's just one of those things where you got my hopes up again just a little bit, and it didn't pan out. I don't get it, man. I don't get this team. I really don't. And the 619 texting in as we're talking about the trade deadline. Trade to get who? Who are they going to get? Prospects? The same prospects that we never see? Right.
No,
feel the same way.
No. This is the time where AJ Preller needs to show his worth to this organization. And so far, his tenure as the Padres general manager, he's had 1 winning season, and that was in the COVID year. That was a 60-game season. So AJ Preller, if he were to make a move right now, would need to go get some, quotes, cheap but effective players. He needs to take a page out of the Dodgers playbook where he's able to go load the farm system in AAA with guys who will be ready for, with guys who will be ready for next season. And guys who are cheap and will be ready for next season. And you can get that for Josh Hader. Everyone keeps saying, look, there's people a lot smarter than me, baseball writers at the national level, who are saying this is a seller's market for young talent. Well, go out and get it.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee.
No, there's no guarantee. That's what I'm saying. AJ Preller needs to prove his worth. He needs to be the general manager that brings in a superstar that no one heard of, no one knows about.
Well, what's crazy is there's massive superstars on this team that aren't producing, that you are paying for. So you're trying to now find a superstar that you don't have to pay for because you pay too much for superstars that you do pay for that don't produce, which is mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Look, we're back to Padres. We've done 30 minutes of 40 minutes on Padres.
619 says, why not pinch hit for Coway? I agree, but who are you going to pinch hit with? You know what I mean? Like you subbed in Juan Soto in that inning already. That would be your guy off the bench that I would want to see come in and pinch hit. Like outside of that, who are you going to bring in? I'd also like to pinch hit for Grisham, but who are you going to bring in? They're just in a crappy situation right now. That's what I'm saying. They have no bench.
So what do? Wave the white flag? Call it a season?
I don't know about that, but you try something. You move one of these guys or two of these guys and try to get some younger talented bats or some younger talented bullpen arms.
The thing is, with 59 games left, and this is to your point of moving some people around, getting something for what you have right now. With 59 games left, if you're looking at a Blake Snell, you either can trade him right now and you can get the maximum value possible for Blake Snell right now, and then look towards the 2024 season, probably, or you get 10 more starts from Snell
And then nothing.
and then nothing.
But that's the problem.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, you get nothing for Blake Snell.
That's the rub. So it has to be, nope, we are keeping Snell because we know with Snell, we can go win the World Series.
Or you're keeping Snell because you've had conversations with Snell where he says, I will take a team-friendly deal to stay.
Or there's that.
Which I would say probably 95 to 99% chance that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
because he's going to be one of the highest paid pitchers in the next free agency. Swing.
Yeah, and I do not know his headspace at all. Like I can't get a read on that whatsoever.
We know that he doesn't necessarily want to leave. We know that he doesn't like going to new teams. We know that it took him a long time to adjust to San Diego. It feels like he's adjusted now.
Right. And San Diego's awesome.
San Diego is awesome.
I mean,
it's a very pitcher-friendly ballpark.
Right. Yeah, a lot of things there. Hey, what do LeBron James, tequila, Vegas fights, and OnlyFans have in common?
I don't know, but are we about to find out?
We're about to find out. We'll talk about it next. What does LeBron James have to do with a half-naked Vegas brawl? We'll explain next. Yeah, we're doing things here right on a Thursday morning, rolling right along here. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Rich out on vacate, no big thing. TD and Fletch holding it down. Which, by the way, Fletch, you were in for Darren Smith yesterday who had laryngitis.
Yeah, I think there's a possibility I'm in for him today as well.
Look at this. Look at this. You don't have to do the afternoon show, too, do you? We'll go 9 hours of Ben Fletcher.
Yeah, we can just do that.
Yeah. Trim, fit, carnivore, Ben Fletcher. Yeah, I mean, look, we are looking real good and feeling even better on our next level fit guy summer journey here with
I don't know about feeling better.
I feel terrible.
Guys.
I feel terrible. I think this is the dumbest diet we've done. We've only done 2. But I mean, honestly, as I do the carnivore, I'm like, the keto diet was so much better.
Yeah, but I do think it's working. That's
the
thing.
carnivore diet.
I do think it's working. Not
It's-
necessarily because of what we're eating, but because of how much we're eating.
It's
like I'm down to
killing me.
2 meals a day.
Yeah, well, yeah. I am definitely eating far less.
Way less.
In fact, I'm really only eating one like actual meal.
I eat
day.
a snack here at 10:45.
Nice.
Which a snack is like today. It's ground beef
Right.
and turkey bacon, and it's a pretty small serving. And then at about 5 o'clock, I eat a bigger dinner, and
Like
then
the
at
fourth time you've had ground beef and turkey bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for after dinner, like last night when I was being a pill, Kendall gave me a little block of cheese, and it made me really happy.
Yeah. Do a block of cheese right now as well. Do you remember? I guess it was last week. There was video footage of a girl-on-girl brawl at the Wynn Casino in Las Vegas, and there were skirts hiked up and off. There were thongs out on display. There was a lot going on there. A lot of skin.
I feel like I'd remember this, so maybe this happened when I was in Mexico.
Oh, maybe it did. There was a massive brawl that happened right at the entry of the Wynn in Las Vegas, and one of the women who was in the brawl, Erin Harris, she's 42 years old. She actually started the fight. She walked in because her husband was with a OnlyFans mistress, apparently. So that didn't go down well.
They
But
call
Erin,
those sugar babies.
yeah, well, Erin Harris apparently works for LeBron James Tequila Company.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, and I guess before that she worked for Sean P. Diddy Combs. But let's see if what her actual title here is. High flying executive at LeBron James Tequila Company. Which, did I know that LeBron James had a tequila company?
Yes,
I did.
we did know this.
What's it called?
I don't know,
Okay.
but we knew that they all have something now.
Yeah,
Like I mean, really rich people. Like Mark Wahlberg has a tequila company that just won some award.
Awesome. Awesome. She's the chief marketing officer at the NBA Stars liquor brand Lobos 1707. That's what it's called. It's all in this article if I would just read a little further. But
The D'Amelios have a alcohol brand.
who's the D'Amelios?
I don't know. Kendall Jenner has a tequila.
She does?
Ryan Reynolds has a gin. George
Well, I
Clooney
knew
has a
that.
something.
Okay, so Ryan Reynolds has a gin. I knew that
Is
one.
George Clooney's vodka or is it tequila also?
I don't know the answer to that.
But
at
it's like
all.
these companies, and we talked to our
No,
guy Craig
the,
about
the
this.
Rock.
Remember?
The Rock has a tequila.
Yeah, but you remember when Craig came in for Bar Cart Friday
they
with
talked about LeBron James.
Kalinga? Not
Yeah.
about LeBron James, but about the different celebrities that people will just pay a bunch of money to be attached to a brand.
Yeah,
And then all
yeah.
of a sudden it takes a slightly average gin and makes it one of the most popular ones in the world. In the case
Right.
of Ryan Reynolds.
Did Ryan Reynolds just attach himself to a gin?
No, the gin attached themselves to Ryan Reynolds
that's what I
and
meant.
made him the spokesperson on the front of it,
I
on
mean,
the face of it.
I would do that if
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
wanted to attach me to anything. I would
I-
say yes.
I feel like Big Rich, TD, and Fletch needs to be on a beer can or at least a coffee cup.
Or a hamburger bun. Can you imagine the Big Red CD and Fletch logo like burned right on top of a bun? A big bacon cheeseburger. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe a bacon cheeseburger with barbecue sauce and like a pile of those onion straws.
You're torturing yourself, and now you're torturing me with you and any of our listeners who are playing along at home.
That's all I can think about. Or all I can think about is a surf and turf taco or some tuna tostadas.
We could probably get Big Rich, TD, and Fletch seared onto the side of a tortilla.
Do you think we could?
I think we probably
Do you-
could.
what if
But if anyone could figure it out, you know who would?
it would be Frank at the Remy.
Frank the Tank
Mhm.
at the Remy,
Frank
our
the
new
Tank.
favorite steakhouse, one of the newest steakhouses in San Diego. This place is incredible. We've been there. I've been there a few times now. Travis has been there a couple times. It's an awesome place if you want to take the wife out for a drink. It's an awesome place if you want to take your work buddies out for a lunch. We could talk about the lunch menu today, or we could talk about the dinner menu. Which way do you want to go?
It doesn't really matter to me. However, I am going to be down in Mission Valley today around lunchtime. I know.
Get a steak.
Do you think I should stop by and just get a steak?
Just get a steak.
Just get a big
fat steak.
God, yeah, because they do it right, man. It is a fine dining experience there. They offer an incredible menu featuring premium American Wagyu meat cuts, seafood, crafted cocktails, both new and old world wines. But yeah, lunchtime steak might go over pretty well.
I think it's a good idea. Or you could get the steak sandwich, hold the sandwich.
I could do that too.
AKA just steak.
I could do that.
When it comes to cocktails, though, the Remy takes a craftsman's approach. And the reason I say that is because Ken, the bartender, is a craftsman. He stands behind the bar every single day, making awesome ingredients, awesome drinks. And if you want an awesome life story, go talk to Ken for a little bit. He'll tell you how much he's moved around this country of ours trying to perfect his cocktail making abilities. And he's done that. And now Frank has put him in charge of the bar, and Ken has done an awesome, awesome job. Don't forget their extensive list of vintage bottles, wine bottles, providing something for everyone and every occasion, whether it's a night out with the wife, whether it's a daughter's 21st birthday. Just make sure you go out and spend it at the Remy.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're going there for lunch today, you don't have to get a cocktail. You can get a mocktail.
Yeah, you can.
Ken will make you up one of those, and it'll be the best damn thing you've ever tasted in your life. I promise you that. But the place is also awesome, uniquely decorated, little hideaway with a Western flair. I'm talking plush leather seating, dark wood accents to pay homage to the last frontier, perfect for an intimate evening gathering with friends or even hanging out for lunch. So bring your friends, bring your family, lunch, dinner, private dining. They do it all, and they do it all right.
And the secret's out. We've seen videos from the Remy as early as last week. The place is packed every single night. So make sure you get a reservation, RemySD.com. That is the RemySD.com. Get your reservation now so you can go on a date night this weekend.
Yeah.
And if you do, take a picture. Send it to us.
Yep.
At Big Rich, TD, and Fletch everywhere.
Yep. We do got to talk a little Padres a little more. We'll recap what happened last night and while we're still so angry. And Tom Brady, the door for him to come back to play is cracked open a little bit more once again. We'll explain coming up next.
It's hour 2 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by DraftKings. That one stung for the Padres yesterday as they lose the series to the Pirates 2-1 after a 3-2 loss yesterday at Petco Park. They had the bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth inning. They had an opportunity to take the lead. A pop out to third base and a strikeout by Trent Grisham ended the game. With just 4 games before the trade deadline, Padres sitting 6.5 games out of that final wild card spot. Some big decisions for AJ Preller and Peter Seidler coming up over the next week or so. NL West yesterday, Giants beat the A's 8-3. D-backs lose to the Cardinals 11-7. Dodgers fall to the Blue Jays 8-1. Elsewhere in baseball, the Angels have officially pulled Shohei Ohtani off of the trade market. The superstar continues to dominate, and the Angels have decided they're playing for right now. Over in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers, he takes a $35 million pay cut with the Jets to give his new team the best shot at winning a Super Bowl with him over the next few years. This update was presented by DraftKings.
Make them say, It's Master P. Did you ever listen to Master P, Ben Fletcher? No, he did not. That was a hit song for about an hour, I think. What was it? Early 2000s, maybe. But it's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Thursday, rolling along tomorrow. Bar Card Friday, brought to you by Cake and Bottle. 10 locations all throughout San Diego. Stop by a Cake and Bottle and get ready for the weekend because it's going to be hot, and I cannot wait. I have no idea who's coming in, though.
We have like a 2-hour window where we can cheat.
Oh, we do.
We have like a 2-hour window where legally we are allowed to cheat.
Legally, yes, the door is open. We can put our foot in there. We can cheat along.
You know what I was thinking? Maybe tomorrow morning we start the show off because our buddy Patrick Allen from Florida.
Oh yeah,
he sent us Casa Bonita's margarita mix.
Yes. Were those keto friendly?
No.
Oh, they were just Casa Bonita margarita mix.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, whatever. I'm in for whatever.
One margarita.
We can make margaritas
we can
in
make
here.
A margarita.
That's fine. We have all the tools.
And I want to try the Casa Bonita.
Yeah, same. We have ice.
Do
we have chips and salsa?
We can't do that. There has to be a line somewhere. Just
Why?
Eating carbs.
Why is the line at chips and salsa?
Eating carbs feels dirtier than drinking them.
It doesn't?
It does for me.
Yeah, I guess it does. But man, chips and salsa I love. I mean, like that's one of my like top foods, I think.
Same.
Chips and salsa. You know what else I like? Toast.
Yeah.
Or an English muffin toasted.
Or cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll. But just toast.
Or
like
Taco
literally
Bell.
Butter with some jelly or jam.
Or In-N-Out.
In-N-Out works. This is what happens when you're dieting. All you do is start to fantasize about food, which I'm sure all of you have experienced out there who are dieting.
I want to know, is anyone going on this journey with us? Like, has anyone been jumping on the scale? And
there's no one doing that.
Doing some diets?
There's no one doing that.
70470, start your message with team. Are we inspiring anybody?
No.
Or is everyone just looking at us like, you losers?
Yeah,
I'm going to eat this burger.
100% they are. Yes, that is exactly what's happening. Sad news in the world of music, Ben Fletcher. Sinead O'Connor passed away. We didn't want to go through and not mention that, but Conor McGregor actually had some cool things to say. Yeah, that one. This is like the hit for Sinead O'Connor.
Have I heard it? I like it.
Well, yeah, okay.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
There's no way you've never heard this.
Let me get it going in the headphones.
Okay, yeah, we'll let that roll. Oddly, this fits with the Padres season. It's depressing.
She has a beautiful voice.
Oh yeah, without a doubt,
stunning,
without a doubt. And she had a lot of struggles through life, man. There were a lot of things that she had to deal with that she powered through. But the latest reports are that the police, when they rolled up on the scene, she was unresponsive. She was pronounced dead on the scene. It doesn't look like foul play. That's clearly out, and it doesn't look like suicide yet. That's at least not what they're saying.
Bring on the soul.
Oh,
come
dude.
on now.
Oh, come on. So, yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, it looks like there may have been an addiction problem there, at least on the surface. So we'll find out more later.
R.I.P.
Nothing compares to you. I'm feeling that. Getting a little love on the text line, by the way. Was it the 619 that texted in that said nothing compares to us either? That's fine.
I think it was 615.
615. Yeah, we love you. Thank you very much.
619 on and off carnivore since April, down 30 pounds now.
Wow.
Do you hear Travis? It works.
Wow.
Travis, it works. 619, tell us more. What's your dinner? How do you make yourself not hate yourself? How do you not hate everything you put in your mouth?
He's down 30 pounds. That's incredible.
First of all, congratulations.
Yeah,
that
no
really
doubt.
is amazing.
That's a big number.
Yeah, it's huge, especially since April. That's not that long.
No, which makes me have hope that we could do this.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think I'm down. I mean, I'm just going to guess 5 pounds right now.
I think I was down 6 pounds as of last Friday.
Wow.
And I've been
incredible.
pretty damn good since then also.
Yeah,
I think it's just fallen off me because I'm a little, no offense, I'm a little younger.
Yeah, no,
And
no
I think-
offense, but I'm younger.
No,
I
and
have a higher metabolism.
I do think like my body was not happy with what it was at, where I feel like you were pretty comfortable in your body.
Well, I don't know if that's the case, but I will agree with you that as you get older, your metabolism does slow down, and it is much harder to shed the weight. I will say that. So I will agree with you there. Tom Brady running into a little bit of a snafu trying to become minority owner of the Raiders. I guess there is a rule that the NFL has instated here, or I guess is that the word for it? A new rule that prevents team employees who are not family members from being distributed equity in a franchise. Now, Raiders owner Mark Davis came out and said publicly that he planned to employ Tom Brady as part of the agreement. He was going to make him some low-level employee of the team. And then now the NFL said, yeah, okay, well, then stop that sale because it can't happen.
I wonder why. It seems a little bizarre, but I guess, is Tom Brady not paying enough money for his ownership stake? Is Mark Davis just giving him a freebie a little bit?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but that's what I'm assuming it would be. Is I think they're trying to stop the fact that we're going to give you 1.1% of the company instead of a salary.
Yeah. Or is this a play to make him the GM? Eventually.
Yeah.
Like I could see them trying to maybe start Tom Brady off in the front office, working, and then maybe learn his way. But he has to deal with Fox. Tom Brady is a confusing dude.
Start in the ticket booth.
Yeah.
And work your way up.
Could you imagine pulling up to the Death Star that is the Raiders Allegiant Stadium, and Tom Brady is the one handing out your ticket?
That would be awesome. That would be so awesome. Either that or he's like one of the food vendors outside. He's the guy walking around with your popcorn, peanuts. Get your popcorn here.
Churros.
Dude, that would be awesome. Buying a churro from Tom Brady. That's on my bucket list for sure. We need contestants right now, though. 844-570-1360. If you want to go see either Rod Stewart or Danny Elfman at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, Rod Stewart will be there August 5th. Danny Elfman will be there August 3rd. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com or call right now, 844-570-1360. If you want to play our little game, Mustache You a Question. That's what you're going to do. And it's going to be dealer's choice. So whichever one you want to play for, you will get to play for. Both those shows, by the way, I think will be fantastic.
Yeah, that should be pretty cool. And coming up on the show today, we got a couple big guests.
Yeah.
So yesterday there was a congressional hearing about UFOs.
Yes.
So if you're down to get spooky, our buddy Earl Grey Anderson, who we have had on before, who was awesome last time we had him, is going to be telling us everything we need to know about what happened yesterday, as well as any further developments. I know we've all seen some video over the last few days that looks pretty compelling, but is it fake? Is it real?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
Are
then-
there aliens here? Did they actually find bodies?
Is Earl Grey Anderson an alien? Maybe.
Maybe.
At 7:30, Mark Neville is going to be in studio. Mark Neville, for the longest time, he was the CEO of the Holiday Bowl. He's done a lot for the city of San Diego. He's going to do a lot more this weekend. It's a really, really cool event. Mark Neville is going to be telling us about it here in about 20 minutes.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. We do have a contestant here calling in right now. If his phone lines light up, we'll find out who that is, and then we will play our little mustache game because it's what we do every Thursday. You know, it's part of the staple of who we are. And as Ben Fletcher wheels back over to get us some, do we have a theme for this? I can't remember. Okay, we do. Let's do that.
Hairy upper lip or nah? It's up to you to determine. If you want the prize, you have to play the game. It's time. We mustache you a question.
Like I said, we do single Thursday. I'm sure if Rich were here, he would tell us that we are absolutely huge in Saudi Arabia, where they want to pay us $1.1 billion to do it. But we said, no, we won't. There's no way.
It's about legacy, baby.
Yeah, it's about legacy. We will not take that $1 billion.
Also, in honor of Oppenheimer, we're huge in Los Alamos and aliens, because lots of Los Alamos aliens.
Wait, what?
Isn't that that's where they're saying some of the biological non-humans were
it in Los Alamos?
kept at Los Alamos.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I thought you were getting political on me.
No.
Okay.
Biological non-humans.
Okay, good.
Extraterrestrials.
Good. Who do we have on the line here, Ben?
This is our buddy Sean. Sean, what up?
Hey, how's it going, man? It's my bucket list to play this game.
Yeah, hey, I like that. It's on your bucket list. Well, check it off, baby, because here you are. Yeah, playing some Mustache You a Question. Rod Stewart or Danny Elfman? Both going to be at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Rod Stewart's August 5th. Danny Elfman, August 3rd. What would you like to play for, Sean?
Let's do Rod Stewart, man.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Well, here's how the game goes, man. I'm sure you know since you sound like a big fan, but literally you listen to a clip and then you tell us whether or not the person speaking has a mustache. You get 3 out of 5 right. You're going to see Rod Stewart. You understand the rules?
I do.
Okay, Sean, here you go. Here is clip number 1.
Hello. How about that ride in? I guess that's why they call it Sin City. You guys might not know this, but I consider myself a bit of a loner. I tend to think of myself as a one-man wolf pack. But when my sister brought Doug home, I knew he was one of my own. And my wolf pack, it grew by 1.
There you go. That voice right there, a very, very funny individual. I don't know if you recognize it or not, but you don't have to. You got a 50-50 shot. Sean, we mustache you a question. Does that voice have a mustache?
I'm going to say yes.
You did it. Zach Galifianakis.
Full beard.
Full beard.
Real bushy.
Real full beard. Real bushy beard. Yeah, man, you're up 1-0 here, Sean. Very nicely done. Let's go ahead and give you clip number 2.
What am I going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm going to stay up all day. I'm going to sleep up all night. I'm going to give it a ho, hey, ho. And I'm going to stop worrying about calories.
Yep. That voice right there talking about, I believe, our carnivore diet, Sean. I think that's what that was from. But also a very funny, famous individual. But we mustache you the question, Sean. Does that voice have a mustache?
I'm 50 on this one. I'm going to say no.
Wow. Man, that was Michael Scott there. Michael Scott from The Office. No mustache. Very clean shaven.
Michael G. Scott rolling like a pimp.
There was one moment that he did have a mustache when he grew the goatee.
Are we going to be goatee bros?
Are we? We might. So very nice, man. You're up 2-0. You just got to get one more out of the next 3, Sean, and you got this thing. I'm feeling real confident here. I'm feeling real good. Here you go. Here's clip number 3.
Let's go fishing. Holy what? A pumpkin seed. Look at those colors. We'll name you Neptune. Adios. Well, girl, you're as thick as Aunt Martha's pound cake. We'll name you Dumpling. Look, a northern pike. Let's name him Garth. See ya, buddy.
It was thick as Aunt Martha's pound cake. That's my new favorite individual on social media, by the way, that I had no idea about until Ben Fletch.
Oh, he's the best.
Oh, Ben Fletcher, turned me on to. I absolutely love it. I can watch it all day. But, Sean, we mustache you this question. Did that man talking about the thickness of Martha's pancake have a mustache?
I have no clue about that clip, so I'm completely in the dark. I'm going to say yes, man.
I think we have a winner.
Congratulations, Sean. You just won yourself a pair of tickets to see Rod Stewart at North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on August 5th. Tickets and info for everybody else, Ticketmaster.com. But you, man, you are going courtesy of Big Rich, CD, and Fletch. And by the way, that was old-timey Hawkeye, who is all over TikTok. It's this dude who has a beautiful, like total campfire mustache.
He lives out in the middle of the nowhere. He lives off the land for the
Right,
most part. He
right.
does these little camping trips and he narrates everything. And he always says, "Well, hello, buddy."
Yeah, I think he's Canadian. I
Probably.
think, but I feel like he lives up in Washington. But congrats, Sean. How you feeling, buddy?
Man, let's go. That was great.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it.
Let's go. Hang on the line, Sean. Ben's going to get your info, and we'll get you those tickets.
Say the word mustache, a mustache, a mustache, a red mustache, a mustache, a mustache. If you've only got a mustache.
Well done, Sean.
Yeah, Sean.
3 for 3.
3 for 3, and he was kind of like, yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, that's a yes. I'm going to go with the
Line
yes
him up,
on that.
knock him down, huh?
Gosh, get him a Padre uniform. Sean, that's the kind of fight we need on this Padre team. That's what I'm talking about. Dude, I just don't get it. I don't know how they fall to the Pirates and lose that series.
Well, you want some good news?
They won 1 out of 6 games.
No, the good news is the Pirates are a really bad team, and the Padres can't seem to figure out a way to beat them. The next team that's coming in is the Rangers, who's a really good team. And Bruce Bochy used to be the manager of the Padres, and he's the current manager of the Rangers.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith that's going to go real great, but who knows? It's the Padres, dude. Maybe they're going to sweep them.
You know what? I forgot about this. I just got the like a notification on my phone here. I saw it come up last night that the Big 12 welcoming in Colorado. Did you see that? Yeah, which, I mean, is that a surprise?
No.
Right.
There's been talks about this for like a couple months now. I do think that it doesn't help anything that's going on here.
No, it doesn't. But look, it doesn't change anything here really in the fact that there has to be a TV deal put in place.
Yeah, well, it's some sort of broadcast deal, whether it's streaming only, whether it's a TV deal, whether they revamp the Pac-12 network. I don't know what the Pac-12 is going to do, but they got to figure it out, and they got to figure it out soon.
Yeah, they do. But I guess in the meantime, the Aztecs will remain in the Mountain West. And
Big news yesterday about the Aztecs, by the way, especially the basketball program, a home and home with Gonzaga. Like, that's massive. That is huge. 2 of the better basketball programs on the western side of the United States over the last 15, 20 years. I went back, and I have it written in my notepad, which is in my car. In my truck, sorry. The last 10 years of each of these teams, their win-loss record is outrageous between Gonzaga and San Diego State. So scheduling a home and home with them, A, that's going to bring a ton of money into the athletic program at San Diego State. And B, that's Dutcher. Scheduling tough, making sure even if you lose that game against Gonzaga, especially on the road, that is going to boost every ranking you have in KenPom, in RPI, in the net rankings, every single ranking you could possibly imagine. If you are competitive whatsoever in that game against Gonzaga, especially on the road, you are going to get a big bump. Awesome job by JD Wicker, Brian Dutcher, the entire staff over there at San Diego State. That's huge.
Yeah.
And Mark Few has a punchable face.
Okay, there is that as well. Yes, absolutely. There's there's good things happening. There's good things on the horizon.
We can be positive. Guess what? You're a month out from Aztecs football. The first 3 games are in San Diego.
Dude, are we at 30 days
30
now?
days.
30 days to Aztec football. That makes me feel good. We're also a week away from the Hall of Fame game. So Jets and Browns.
Bring it.
No doubt.
Dude, I was watching Quarterbacks on Netflix last night to kind of cure my ache.
Yeah, how'd you feel about that?
I really enjoyed it. I watched the first episode. I think it's just it could only be about Patrick Mahomes, and I'd be fine. Like, I think I'd rather have that.
Right.
Maybe sprinkle in some Kirk Cousins, but make it mostly about Patrick Mahomes. That dude is an enigma. I don't understand how.
Without a doubt. You know what? I started the first episode, and then I had to stop it, and I kind of forgot to go back to it. But part of the reason was episode 1. There was a lot of Kirk Cousins
and a lot of Marcus Mariota. And I'm just like, kind of, you know what? Those guys, like Kirk Cousins, fine. But Marcus Mariota is not even a starter in the league anymore. And no offense to him. I'm a fan of Marcus Mariota.
Right.
But just focus on Patrick.
Right.
Give me more Patrick.
Yeah.
Because that dude's awesome.
No kidding. Coming up here in the next segment, we're going to be talking with Mark Novell, CEO of San Diego Bowl Game Association. But he's He's got a number of things going on here, and one of them is the Sports San Diego Paddle for Life, which very unique event honoring organ donation. He's going to be joining us live here in studio, so we are looking forward to that.
Mark has some crazy stories too that he's going to share with the audience about the organ donation and about what Paddle Out this event this weekend means to him. It's going to be a powerful interview. Stay tuned. It's important for San Diego.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It's gonna be good times. I can't wait. And then coming up, are you showing me something that I need to know here?
Well, I need to do a little read.
Oh, you need to do that.
I need to do a
that's
little refreshing.
That's more than a little read, man.
You know what's
This is
going to be
important
awesome?
stuff.
How hot's it going to be this weekend?
Let's look. Let's look and see what
Tell
it's
me
going to
how
be.
hot it's going to be this weekend.
Hang on. Wait for it. We're looking downtown 86, 87.
That means where I live, it's going to be 95 degrees.
Without a
that
doubt.
means where Travis lives, it's going to be damn near 100 degrees.
Blech.
And Travis has a community pool. I have a community pool. You know what I'm going to be doing at my community pool on Saturday? I'm
Eating
going to
ground
be
beef.
up there with a plate of ground beef and an ice chest full of long balls, baby. Because I want you all to right now to imagine a beverage inspired by America's favorite pastimes. Do you have that in your head? Good. Well, let me introduce you to the world's finest lemon iced tea, ready to drink cocktail that will keep the party going all day long. Our guys, Dennis and Daniel O'Connor, they took a classic cocktail, the long ball and soda. They put a little backspin on it, and they put it in a can. Perfect for that early tea time or twilight session. I'm going to be out by the pool this weekend, and I promise you this, there is going to be a cooler full of ice-cold long balls, some of the 5%, some of the 10%. Kendall likes the 5ers. I like the 10ers. At 123 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, long balls have that clean, refreshing finish that'll keep you in the game all day long. Perfect for those hot, sunny days that are coming up this weekend. Just 3 ingredients in long balls: iced tea, natural flavors, clean alcohol. Find Long Ball at more than 20 San Diego golf courses and visit longballshooter.com for the full list of retailers. You can sign up for the Long Ball Challenge there. But if you head over to our website, sportssd.com, and you navigate over to the contests and promotions page, you are going to see an opportunity that Long Ball has presented to our listeners to play a free round of golf with the 3 of us idiots. I know the golf course for the first one. I also know the date for the first one, but we haven't drawn a winner yet. We're going to be drawing the winner on either this Friday or next Monday. So get your submissions in ASAP because we want to make sure there's the biggest group of people as possible that we get to pick from for long ball. So longballshooter.com for more information. Go long, tease nuts. Please drink responsibly. Coming up on the other side, Mark Neville joins the show in studio to talk about a really, really awesome event that he's a part of for this weekend. Stay tuned. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update is presented by DraftKings. This one stings for the Padres. They lose the series to the Pirates 2-1 after a 3-2 loss yesterday at Petco Park. Padres now sitting 6.5 games out of the final wild card spot with just 4 games before the trade deadline. Big decisions coming up next week for the Padres. NL West yesterday, Giants beat the A's 8-3. D-backs lose to the Cardinals 11-7. Dodgers fall into the Blue Jays 8-1. Elsewhere in baseball, Angels have officially pulled Shohei Ohtani off the trade market. The superstar continues to dominate. The Angels are playing for right now this season. And in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers, he takes a $35 million pay cut with the Jets to give his new team the best shot at winning a Super Bowl. This update presented by DraftKings.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. I'm using the like the earbuds, like Big Rich would do. I don't know how he does this. This is awkward, but we're making things work here because we have very special guests in studio. Mark Neville, CEO of the San Diego Bowl Game Association, got something new going on here. Well, not new, but different. You were just saying you were just producing the Manchester United game, and then now we're switching over to this, and this is a very good cause. The Sports San Diego Paddle Out for Life. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, lovely to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, so talk to us about the event here.
So what we're doing, so everyone knows this as the Holiday Bowl, right? But we're Sports San Diego. We produce the Holiday Bowl. We are the ones we're a nonprofit. We also are doing the Rady Children's Invitational, the basketball tournament that's getting started this Thanksgiving. We're taking over the Cal State games, but we also serve as the sports commission to drive tourism through sports events. And a year ago, we brought the Transplant Games of America here, and it was an amazing community, thousands of people. It was donor families, living donors, transplant recipients. And it was an amazing event. And one of the most impactful events that we did out here was the Paddle Out for Life. Mm-hmm. And for those who don't know, paddle outs are traditional Hawaiian ways of honoring those who are no longer with us. Go out in the ocean, get in a big circle, and love on the people who have passed. And so we did this last year to honor those who are no longer with us, but in passing, they donated the gift of life, and they gave organs, tissues, and such to other folks to help them live. And so the other part of the Paddle Out that we're doing here on Sunday, by the way, is to raise awareness for the critical need for donation, for organ donation, be it living. I'm a kidney donor. I donated a kidney back in 2019, but also for those when you pass, that you have that dot on your driver's license that says that you're going to donate organs and tissues to others. So the Paddle Out for Life is this Sunday at 7:30 a.m. down at Kellogg Park at La Jolla Shores. And you can go to sportssandiego.org. Everything's there. And again, we want to really raise awareness that there's a stat that I was given once, and my donor mentor is a woman named Diane Brockington, who many on this station may know John Brockington, who was with the Green Bay Packers and All-America at Ohio State. But her his friend Diane donated a kidney to him and enabled him to have a great life. He just recently passed away. But Diane really was my mentor for being a donor myself. And she told me this stat one day that there are about 100,000 people out there right now who are on the list for who need an organ. About 85% of those people need a kidney. If just 1 in 10,000 people who are eligible to donate a kidney did it, that waiting list would be wiped out.
No way.
When I donated the kidney, it was one of the best experiences of my life. And so this event Sunday, go to sportssandiego.org, is to raise awareness for the critical need of organ donation, be it living donation or otherwise, and to honor those who are no longer with us. And here in studio with us here, we have John and Joy Beach, came all the way out from Illinois. We're here for the Transplant Games last year, and came out just for this because it was such an impactful event for them.
Yeah, impactful event because they're, very, very close to home. It hits close to home. John, Joy, can you guys talk to me about why it hits so close to home?
Well, our son became an organ donor on the eve of his 22nd birthday, and It's been quite a whirlwind. We came out here last year to participate in the transplant games, and we decided to attend the paddle out, and we walked up and met Mark, and it was just quite a celebration of the donor families and recipients at the paddle out. We really came to see the need for organ donation. My wife started a little family foundation, a 7C1, and we go to different events and things in order to get the word out about the need for organ donation. Like Mark said, the number yesterday was 103,000 something people on the registry waiting for organ donations. And, you know, quite fortunate for us. I mean, our son was able to help 204 recipients for skin, bone, and tissue. All of his major organs were donated. One eye. He lives on in 22 states, 3 countries, and you know, I just realized this morning the final list 8 years later, the final list came out, and there were 3 recipients in Southern California. So that's kind of a coming together thing with this.
I have chills, man. I mean, of how many people you know you could touch in that manner, and how many people that John, Joy, you guys have touched here with your lives. It's incredible. Joy, have you been? Went to the paddle out. You've been several times now.
She was on a surfboard out in the paddle out last year.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Now, I mean, just thinking about this event, that also gives me the chills. I mean, it's got to be a moving experience. I want to go out to this. I want to experience this myself. But talk to me about this, Joy. What does it feel like out on the paddle out?
When you go out to the paddle out, excuse me. When you go out to the paddle out, the water is so relaxing, and you just have this feeling of, you know, that your loved one is there and you're honoring them. We always loved water. We have a boat. We used to do a lot of skiing, a lot of water skiing, a lot of barefooting, you know, boating. And that was one of John's favorite things to do. And we just knew he was there. And it's just, it's a feeling that you can't buy.
Yeah.
It's so special.
Without a doubt.
And if I could say, I mean, this is like sports, like really making an impact here, you know. And I mean, you're hearing from John and Joy, and last year at the transplant games, you know, there were a lot of families just like John and Joy, and I think that was really comforting for them too, because it's a really tight community. It's a community you do not want to be a part of, but it's a really tight community,
right?
And you know, so now with Sports San Diego and doing this paddle out on Sunday. And if you go to sportssandiego.org, and I encourage everyone to do it, and click on events, and you'll see the paddle out there. You can get more information about how to be a donor. You know, going through like the National Kidney Registry is a great resource for getting more information about being a living donor. I'm more than happy to talk with anybody about it. And if you're down there, if people come down there on Sunday, again, I didn't know 5 years ago that you could donate a kidney when you were alive.
Yeah, I actually had no idea either. I thought it was something that had to be asked of a friend. So you could just get on a list and say, hey, if anybody needs a kidney, turns out I have 2.
It's a little more complicated than that, but if someone is willing to do it and they're healthy enough to do it, there is somebody out there who could use it.
Well, Mark, I've known you for a few years now.
Just sliver of your liver, because a liver regenerates itself, and you can help somebody who is in liver failure. There's also bone marrow you can donate.
Yeah, I donated bone marrow back in 2006.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got lucky. I got double.
There's so many things that our medical science does today is just amazing.
So if you donate a sliver of your liver will regrow that sliver that's been taken off.
I was told it's like a lizard's tail. You know, it'll
really
just grow back. Yep.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I had no idea. What about the sliver? Does the sliver then grow a whole nother liver?
It helps regenerate the liver. I believe it regenerates the liver that's there.
Wow.
The cells in it. I'm not sure exactly how that works.
Wow. Man, that's absolutely insane. Ben, you had a question for Mark.
Yeah, Mark, I've known you for a few years because of Holiday Bowl and different interviews we've done on the station. I had no idea you were a donor. And if you can, I think it'll help a lot. Just share your story with our audience and tell them just the process that it went into. And you said it was the best experience of your life.
Yeah, I mean, it
having
was
something
amazing.
taken out of you doesn't sound great, but tell us how it helped you.
So yeah, this back in 2018, there was a Facebook post that I saw. Our babysitter, my kid's babysitter, who lived in Houston at the time and still lives there now. On the post it said, "Look, Tasha is looking for. She needs a kidney." And her doctors said that she wouldn't survive the waiting list, and to be aggressive and find a donor. And so there's a post out there, and it said, if you're interested in donating, click here. And so I clicked here, and I got a call. I thought it would be, when I donated bone marrow, I was like a 1 in 5 million match with the kid that I matched with. So I thought it'd be something similar to that. But when I got tested, I had to carry around this big old urine collection jug that I didn't tell anyone in my office what that thing was in the refrigerator. But went through that whole thing and found out I was a match for Tasha, and so I did some more tests. Turned out that even if I wasn't a match for Tasha and I was healthy enough to do it, I would have donated to somebody. So there's some crazy like science out there where you can do pairs. If you want to donate to somebody who was a friend, but you did not match your friend, what they would do is that you would donate to somebody else who they would pair, who would get it to your friend. Like It's amazing stuff.
Wow.
So if you are willing to do it and you're healthy enough to do it, there is somebody out there who could use your kidney. But I did the surgery at Memorial Hermann. And by the way, Sharp Healthcare, we have a great transplant community here in San Diego, and Sharp is a supporter for the paddle out on Sunday, and they're wonderful. They do incredible work over there. But did the procedure, and I was surfing 6 weeks later. And today, I mean, really the only impact, this isn't even an impact, is that I just don't take ibuprofen anymore, because ibuprofen breaks down in your kidney. So I use Tylenol instead, and to get rid of my headaches. So everything, my life is only better because of it. And if my experience is that great, then, and I didn't know about it, I bet you there are people out there listening right now, like you were just saying, that didn't know that you could even do this. And it was, again, one of the best experiences of my life.
I mean, you are giving the gift of life. It's incredible. But
and for these two, I mean, the paddle out really does honor the memory of those who aren't with us, but who don't. Just like you heard what John was saying, where his son really lives on, through hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Many people.
Yeah.
So
it's literally a phoenix from the ashes situation. I mean, it's a sacred gift. And then to be able to be a part of these people's lives, we've met several of our recipients, and they become a part of our lives and friends, and they participate in the events we go to spread the word for organ donation. And then we meet living donors and what special and unique people they are. And these donor chains with the living donors, if you donate a kidney, and sometimes it's 5 and 6 and 10 people out. So
there was at Memorial Hermann, John, when they had a chain that was 51 long. It was like 51 connections.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, incredible.
It's bigger than you. It's bigger than any individual, and it's just something you can really be a part of. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of it, comes out of tragedy, but on the other hand, the connection with sports, which the transplant games was all about, and Sports San Diego's involvement with the sports, to see these recipients running, jumping, breathing in many instances, it's just such a heartwarming thing to see and be a part of. It's a great community, and the giving in the San Diego community here, when Mark said, if I do this next year, would you be willing to come back? Immediately said, we're there.
Yeah.
And it's just something to be a part of. And this community has so many wonderful people involved in all of the nonprofits and stuff. And, it bridges the gap. Like I said, I was reviewing this morning, there were 13 recipients of our son's donation in Southern California. I didn't realize that until this morning. So it's a unique thing that brings people together.
Yeah, you know what? It starts putting things into perspective too. You take a step back and look at what's important in life, and as a human race, as human beings, it does kind of make us all family here. And giving the gift like that, unbelievable.
We just got a tweet, Travis, from our buddy Jamar, who's been a listener for years, but it's turned into a friend, talking about his late girlfriend, Bree. She waited 7 years for a kidney transplant. Once she got it, it was life-changing, and I got my girlfriend back.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah. Pulling on the heartstrings here, giving the chills, all the warm and fuzzies, all the feels. If you want to be a part of that, go to sportsandiego.org. You'll get all the info there. This Sunday, July 30th, 7:30 a.m., Kellogg Park, La Jolla Shores. It's the Paddle Out for Life. You want to be there. You want to experience it. Mark Neville, CEO, San Diego Bowl Association, and Sports San Diego Paddle Out for Life. Man, appreciate you being here.
Oh God, thanks for having us. This is important. It's really, this is life. It's life.
It is.
Yeah.
It is life. It is life. And we'll keep chatting about it here over the next couple days because it's important to us. This is huge, and we want to do as much as we can to spread the word and get as many people out there on the water. That's what we want to see. We want to see.
We want to have a great drone footage of this thing.
1,000,000% of completely self-serving. No. We want to spread the word. We want people to experience life to the fullest. And really, it's the ultimate gift you can give. Putting a sticker on your driver's license.
It's an event of hope. This truly is an event of hope. We can make the difference. People need the help, and we can provide the help.
SportsSanDiego.org. Go there, get all the info to help make a difference. We'll keep talking about more of this coming up next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. What the hell is horse hobbying? We'll explain coming up next. That's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. You know what? It's hard. It is hard to shift gears here when you have your heartstrings pulled like we did our last segment. Mark Neville, CEO of the San Diego Bowl Game Association, Sports San Diego Paddle Out for Life. If you want info on that, sportssandiego.org. It's this a unique event honoring organ donation. And if you didn't hear that last segment, grab it off the podcast and tune in because it's going to give you all the feels. You don't realize, you don't even really think about how many lives you touch with organ donation. And John and Joy, who were in here, their son unfortunately passed away 8 years ago. They didn't even know that he had signed away or signed the waiver that he was an organ donor. They found out after he had his accident. And they ended up, what did they say? What's it, 55 people?
And then 13 people down in Southern California
13,
that they didn't even know about till this morning.
I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So go there, sportssandiego.org, learn more about it, get more info. And I feel like Sunday, 7:30 a.m., paddling out Kellogg Park at La Jolla Shores and hanging out. I mean, that would warm your heart, fill your heart. So go do that. But
sure.
it's tough to shift gears here, but we got to hobby horsing. I've never even heard of this before. I've never heard of this in my life. This is essentially, like the stuffed animal horse head with a stick that you ride
that,
around.
7-year-olds play with.
That is correct. Apparently, it is a new trend where women are riding these around like at a horse event, jumping over objects and getting judged for it. When did this become a thing?
Yeah, I'm judging.
Yeah, I'm definitely judging as well. I honestly had no idea. Apparently, it's all over TikTok. It's all over Instagram.
Well, we all grew up around horse girls, right? Who are just totally obsessed.
Yeah, but they didn't do this.
No, they didn't. But this is taking it to the next level, and I feel like they're on level playing field with Disney adults.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I mean,
now I'm married to a Disney adult, and I know how crazy it is, and I know how crazy she is. Doesn't mean I love her any less, but I can recognize crazy.
Yeah, definitely. This is kind of, to me, it kind of feels like what is the medieval time thing that they do, like Renaissance stuff, where they wear knights shining armor and then they beat each other up with swords.
In college, there was an official club team for Quidditch.
Oh, there you go. It's right on par with that. I mean, you are completely making this up. If you watch these videos, they're pretending like their horse that's a stick with a stuffed animal head is bucking them off. Like they're just random in the event. Apparently, their horse goes crazy. Look, if you want to check it out, just look up hobby horsing. That's apparently the new trend.
If there's a better use of your time, though, it's to go check out sportssandiego.org.
1,000,000%
instead of horse hobbying.
Yes, but keep horse hobbying just on the back burner.
I hope they're
just
all
in
organ
case.
donors.
Yeah, that's I hope they are too. I hope they are too, because you can get severely injured in hobby horsing. Definitely. Look, there was a massive event that took place yesterday. And are we alone? We're going to find out. We're going to talk UFOs with Earl Grey Anderson, MUFON State Director of Southern California. He'll be joining us next. Big Rich, Cheaty, and Fletch.
It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Mercedes-Benz. That one stung for the Padres yesterday. They lose the series to the Pirates 2-1 after a 3-2 loss yesterday at Petco Park. Padres now sitting 6.5 games out of that final wild card spot with just 4 games before the trade deadline. Big decisions coming up over the next week for AJ Preller and Peter Seidler. NL West yesterday, Giants beat the A's 8-3. D-backs lose to the Cardinals 11-7. Dodgers fall to the Blue Jays 8-1. Rockies also lost. Elsewhere in baseball, Angels have officially pulled Shohei Ohtani off the trade market. And in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers takes a $35 million pay cut with the Jets to give his new team the best shot at winning right now. Owning a Mercedes-Benz EV isn't extraordinary. It's extra easy with full remote access to your vehicle from your phone via the Mercedes Me Connect app. The vehicles are all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes. The choice is all yours. Learn more at mbusa.com/EQ.
Making it happen here on a Thursday. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. We are down a Big Rich only because he's on vacation this week. He will be back with us next week. So TD and Fletch, TD, myself, talking about myself in the third person for some odd reason. We're holding things down. Look, yesterday was a big day.
Do you have something to tell me, Travis? Are you an interdimensional being?
Possibly. I don't know that for sure. I
None
cannot
of us
confirm
can.
or deny that. There was a hearing yesterday about, there was a whistleblower who came out and said, hey, look, the government has some fully intact and partially intact crafts here. There was a hearing about it. We brought on Earl Grey Anderson, MUFON State Director of Southern California. When was this? Like a month or two ago, maybe?
Probably, yeah.
To talk about this. He kind of filled us in. Well, after the hearing, we went, what are we supposed to know here? Because there was a lot of information that came out. There was a lot of things talked about, including possible bodies, aliens among us.
Not just dead ones either.
No, not just dead ones. Earl Grey Anderson, MUFON State Director of SoCal. He joins us right now. Earl, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, TD? Hi there, Fletch.
Yeah. No, we are doing fantastic, man. We're actually pretty excited about this because, I mean, it's fascinating. It's fascinating to know what's going on. And I feel like people are finally starting to talk about it as we move into this, moving into the 2020s. I mean, it's only been a few years of us talking about it now. But what exactly came out in the hearings yesterday?
Well, we inadvertently, Mr. Grush, David Grush, very, very brave whistleblower, who, of course, he served for 14 years as an intelligence officer in the Air Force and National Intelligence Agency. Grush said that he was asked in 2019 by the head of a government task force on UAPs to identify all highly classified programs related to the task force's mission. So he's also saying that, I mean, one thing that he was saying in his initial report was that we have gotten satellite monitoring, like apparently photos and I'm guessing deep radar and stuff like that of UFOs coming in too. So, he's really revealing a lot of stuff in this. And by telling them, okay, so the Air Force, the Pentagon, they're telling us that if we want to talk about them, about there being alien bodies, crashed UFOs, and intact UFOs, because apparently we have them.
Right.
If you want to talk about it, well, we have to go into this secured room, a skiff. And so why, if it's all bogus and made up stuff, why do you have to meet in a skiff to talk about it? It's a soundproof room. You can't bring in a cell phone or any kind of monitor, not even a notepad and a pencil.
Yeah. Well, what would be the reason? I mean, that they just don't want to let the information out now. How come we just can't know? Yes, the whistleblower came out. He said we have it. We do have it. We haven't been talking about it because we have been getting technology from it that we're using against our enemies. And why can't they just say it?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much hit it on the button. I'll tell you the things that they're afraid of. My mom worked in officialdom and kind of she kind of a whistle back in 1963 when I was a little kid. Um, and she said that that this stuff, UFOs and aliens, are very, very real, and that they take it very serious. In fact, my mom told me way back then. She said we already know that we're not alone in the universe because we've made contact. Now this is 60 years ago that I heard this, so I'm sure we've had time to reverse engineer things and all the above. What the excuse my mom gave me was for not. She said they will never, ever, ever tell the public, ever. She said they're afraid of how people are going to react, that they're going to react badly. And then she mentioned the old the War of the Worlds radio broadcast, Orson Welles radio thing, where people were panicking and jumping out of windows and barricading themselves in. That's what my mom said in 1977. Maybe something's changed because here we are. They're talking about this openly now. And you hit the nail on the head about they don't want to share this technology with our enemies. Once you make that public, it's public. It's everybody's. So let's hope our scientists are a little smarter than these other guys.
Earl, after some of our conversations with you, I think Travis and I both feel a lot better about kind of accepting some of the facts that we now know. And after yesterday, maybe more of the general public is a little more accepting of some of the facts that was his name Grush. I believe that was his name that he was giving out to the congressional hearing. But what do you think it'll take to get everybody to kind of realize, no, there's people here, or not people, there's other things that are happening here in our universe, and it's not just us? Is it an interview with someone who is a high-ranking official, either in the government or the military, like in front of a spaceship or in front of a interdimensional being? Is that what it's going to take?
Probably. People are so skeptical, and they have reason. I mean, the Robertson panel convened in 1953 after they had a flyby of the White House. Now yesterday was the anniversary of the flyby. I don't know if that was intentional or synchronicity going on, but it was back in 1952. They had like the week before, they had the first flyby with a group of disc-shaped objects, bright like a welder's torch, and they flew ominously right over the White House. And exactly a week later, it was July 26th, 1952. The same thing happened again. So, they've known about this for a long, long time. And I think that maybe the toothpaste is just out of the tube. They want to be able to control the narrative to a certain extent, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. We're talking with Earl Grey Anderson. He's the Mutual UFO Network State Director of Southern California. And at this hearing yesterday, it was I'm trying to figure out who asked the question. Let me see if I can bring it up quickly. Nancy Mace, South Carolina Republican rep. She asked, "Hey, so you said there was bodies pulled from these crafts. Were they human or non-human?" And Grush answered, "Non-human. They were not human." Were they alive?
I mean, we've all heard these memes and stuff forever and ever and ever. Supposedly they had a live ET at one point. That might, some people are saying that they're working with the Pentagon, and area Groom Lake or Area 51. Maybe it's Area 52, Heinz 57. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, that was very wow. It was. What do you make of that? Yeah, I mean, they're saying that they have non-human bodies,
which essentially is telling me that I mean, these these objects that have been released recently from the Navy footage that we all thought, well, those are drones.
The Tic Tac.
The Tic Tac, or maybe the gimbal. I mean, they're flying at high rates of speed. They're moving in directions that would be impossible if a human was behind the yoke of the ship. So it was thought, well, there can't be anybody in that thing. There may have been. So there's some other kind of technology at play here.
Yeah. Arthur C. Clarke, the famous British science fiction novelist, wrote 2001 Space Odyssey. He said that any sufficiently advanced technology you can't tell that apart magic. It's, it's same. It looks exactly like magic. And it's sort of, I mean, if you handed Galileo an iPhone, he would probably be perplexed. He would think it was alchemy or witchcraft. And I think that the same thing's probably going to be happening now. It's going to take a lot for people to wrap their heads around this stuff. But
Earl, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I mean, I think that perhaps maybe they're helping us out to survive ourselves.
Yeah, maybe the reason we have iPhones now is because some other species was able to create it. Who knows? Earl, do you think sometime here in the next few years, and I think you kind of have to talk in terms of years, that there's going to be more transparency on the subject, that eventually it's just going to be okay to openly talk about it, whether it's from government to the public or from the public to the public?
I think so. I hope so. If I have any say in it, I mean, what I would say is that we all, the butterfly effect is a real thing. And if we go out there and we create our ripples and whatever, high position we have or whatever position we have, those ripples will turn into waves. And I think that right now people are kind of suffering a little bit of psychological whiplash from what we heard yesterday. I mean, most of the news agencies, it's not a front page story, which is scary and hilarious at the same time. I think Huffington Post had it as a front page, and that was it. It's like, really? But
well, don't worry, Earl. We're watching CBS right now, and actually, Team USA Soccer Moms is their top story.
Yeah, which I understand. Team USA Soccer Moms is a big deal. Look, right.
Throw an alien in the middle of the soccer game, and then it'll get interesting. Who's that goalie? Is that his head or a ball? That's two black eyes.
Do we need to be afraid of this at all, Earl?
Do we have to be afraid of ourselves at all? I mean, 1947, the Roswell crash happened. We blew up the first atomic bomb, and here we are, 70 how many years after, and we're still our greatest threat to ourselves. I mean, I haven't seen any UFOs dropping bombs, So I don't know. I mean, I think that we need to be open to it being any which way. As soon as you become dogmatic or you decide that something is one thing, then all creative thought comes to an end, So I think we have to be open to whatever it could possibly be, but take into consideration that we have been shooting at UFOs. And there's a couple of stories where they shot back, but usually not. I mean, they jammed this was interesting. I mean, we found out yesterday from which guy was it? It wasn't Graves. It was David Fravor, and he was talking about how when they went to go after the Tic Tac like in an aggressive way, that their deep radar was blocked, which they consider an act of war, but no shots were fired, but they blocked the radar so that they couldn't shoot at them, show of power. It was, but no violence. So make of that what you will. If it were an invasion, they're doing a horrible job of invading us.
That is true. That is very true. Earl Grey Anderson, Mutual UFO Network State Director of Southern California. We always love having you on, man. And I have a feeling there's going to be more news coming out here in the near future, which means we're going to be calling on you again. You good with that?
Sweet. I'm very good with it. You guys are fun. So thanks for having me on. And
Yeah.
if you guys see a UFO out there in Radio Land, go to MUFON.com, the Mutual UFO Network. We want to hear about your sightings. So
Love it.
all right.
Love every bit of it,
Thank
man.
you, you guys.
Thanks again, Earl. Talk with you soon, buddy. Yeah, there he goes. Earl Grey Anderson, MUFON State Director of SoCal. Look,
Bring it, aliens.
there is some weird stuff happening. There is some weird things happening, and it's pretty cool to see it come out, in Congress, that they're asking questions at a hearing. I think that's fantastic.
You know what I noticed?
What's that?
No one's saying no anymore.
No one
in official places of power is saying no anymore.
That is true. That is true. I mean, they aren't hiding it as much, dude. I love this stuff.
Hey,
I
bring
think
it.
it's
I can't wait.
I'm completely in. Meanwhile, in the world of sports, Tyreek Hill is an idiot. Did you see that the video came out of him hitting that guy?
Now,
Look,
this is settled, by the way. He
settled.
paid the dude off.
Yeah.
It's over. It's done with. But the video, I'm just like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? It's mind blowing to me how you can be this dumb. Well, I mean, the guy should have gone after Tyreek Hill. There was no reason that Tyreek Hill had to walk by and hit the guy on top of the head. It was or in the face or whatever he did. But the video was finally released after this was all settled. Tyreek Hill has apologized. He did kind of own up to it and say, look, I can't be doing stupid stuff like this anymore, which is true. But this is just bonehead, idiotic. I don't get it.
He was just, it looked like Tyreek Hill had like a bag of groceries or something. And he was just walking by. And the dude was kind of walking in the same direction.
Yeah.
Or like almost perpendicular. And Tyreek Hill just whacks him on the head.
It was quite the display of you are smaller than me, not in stature, but just in life.
Right.
I mean, it was so degrading. It's just mind blowing.
Tyreek Hill's buddy, he's trying to get him out of the way, trying to.
I know.
Just walking. He's like, dude, what are you doing?
Just follow that lead. Tyreek Hill is such an amazing athlete. I mean, good Lord, all I want to do is see this guy go out there and stretch out the field. I want to see him make these insane plays. I want to see how fast he is out on the field. Love watching him play. I hate the off-field antics. I can't stand it.
Just silly.
Yeah, it's
we did get a text during our interview with Earl. It says, who cares about this ET crap unless there's an ET coming to hit the baseball with runners in scoring position or pitch 8 hitless innings for the Padres? Let's move along.
Can we get the extraterrestrial out on the field?
I'd be down.
Yeah, I'd be down. I mean, I'm in for whatever.
That might be
at
an
this
issue,
point.
by the way. Like, what if we do end up making friends with these extraterrestrial beings, right? And they come in, and then all of a sudden,
now they're so much better at sports
or everything. Like, what if you lose cornhole?
Never happen. It's
Never?
not gonna happen. No way, man.
Like, what if they're better at fixing cars than you?
That's probably fine. Although I don't know if they can be with those 3 long fingers they're always drawn with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to pick up like a screw with those fingers.
Maybe they could do it with telekinesis.
They would have to, I think, which would be fine. I would like them to work on cars for me. Indeed.
But you're so good at it.
No, I'm not really. It would be better if somebody else did it. Pretty much all of the manual labor items that I have to partake in. If somebody else did it, it would be better.
Even the agave?
Oh, not the agave. I want to do the agave. I really think that'd be fun.
When we hang out with our buddies from Kalinga.
Yeah.
We're gonna make you like chop the agave.
But like not the whole time.
Yeah, no, the whole time. Rich and I'll be on the yacht.
For a week?
Yeah, you'll just be chopping agave.
I just have to go out and chop and roast agave?
Yes.
Do I get to roast or am I only the chopping guy?
I think just chopping.
So I'm just completely out in the agave field.
Because Rich and I will be catching tunas, so we'll bring them in and then feed them to you.
Well, I'm not a big tuna fan. Is it in a can?
Right. No.
Can we
it's
get
in nature's can,
here,
the ocean.
I did have the tuna tostadas though at the Remy, and those were absolutely delicious. And that was outside of my comfort zone.
The tuna tostadas?
Yeah.
Those had some flavor to them, man.
I mean, those were beyond good.
Yeah, I want to know where they get their fish from.
Probably the ocean, yeah, or maybe down near the agave farm in Mexico, where I'll be working apparently for a week, which that doesn't seem fair, really.
No, it's fair.
Huh?
Catching tunas is hard work too, Travis.
Look, no one can stop us from going now.
I know.
No one can stop us. We're unstoppable.
We'll talk to Tony tomorrow.
In fact, if we just did it, like we were just there, would it matter? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I like that a lot. They're wow. I mean, I'm gonna go back to the text line here. I am shocked at the news that came out yesterday. To be quite honest,
Which one? Oh,
about the really the bodies. That was crazy.
Yeah. Now, who knows if this dude is full of it? Like, I guess he could be the whistleblower, but it seems like there's a lot of them, and especially the Graves guy that Earl brought up, the dude that was the one that saw the Tic Tac.
Yeah.
That's the one that kind of convinces me,
Mhm.
right? Especially because there's footage of it. Whether it's not great footage, but there's footage of it, like predicting their moves, like U.S. fighter jets. The Tic Tac is predicting
Yeah.
their moves and understanding where they're going to be next. They're
Yes.
blocking radar. That's the stuff that kind of gets me.
Kylie Jenner admitted to getting and regretting getting a boob job finally.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's breaking news.
Hasn't she always been? No, I'm all natural.
I think so. And then it was actually on yesterday's The Kardashians. It was the final episode of this season.
That's what I care about.
Which I did watch actually.
Instead of the Padres.
It was after the Padres. The Padres ended early. So I did watch The Kardashians. My wife likes to watch The Kardashians. What's odd is after watching The Kardashians, for whatever reason, I'm feeling like they're more normal than I thought they were. Is that odd?
The only clip I've seen is when Kris Jenner, the mom, takes edible and is high as hell at a Mexican restaurant.
Wait, that's the only clip you've seen?
And that is very funny.
Huh.
That's the only clip I've seen.
Interesting.
Back to the pot. Well, we got a minute left here, but the ninth inning yesterday really felt like the season to me. And it was a lot of fight out of this team for one inning. And they were able to get the bases loaded with one out and feel like, oh, well, they're only down one run, bases loaded, one out. This is happening. There's going to be a walk-off hit at Petco Park, only the second time this season. And then there's a pop out to third base and a strikeout by Trent Grisham.
Yeah.
And that is just so deflating, but it shows the biggest issue with this team, which I have said repeatedly over the last 3 months or so, which is roster construction. It really is. Like, and that goes straight to the front door of AJ Preller because the bench, the hitters who are in that 7, 6, 7, 8, 9 spot have not produced at all.
No, not at all. We are up against the clock here. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, we will talk a little more about that. Also, Conor McGregor mourning Sinead O'Connor's death. We'll tell you why. Pretty cool, man, actually. But we'll get to that next. Big Rich, City, and Fletch.
This update is presented by DraftKings. Rough day for the Padres yesterday. It's been a rough year, but yesterday felt like a stinker. Padres lose 3-2 yesterday to the Pirates at Petco Park. They dropped the series to the Pirates 2-1. Now sitting 6.5 games out of the final wildcard spot, just 4 games before the trade deadline. Big decisions coming up next week for the general manager and the owner of the Padres. NL West yesterday, Giants beat the A's 8-3. D-backs lose to the Cardinals 11-7. Dodgers fall to the Blue Jays 8-1. Elsewhere in baseball, the Angels have officially pulled Shohei Ohtani out of the trade market. That superstar, he continues to dominate, man. Angels are playing for right now. Over in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers taking a $35 million pay cut with the Jets to give his new team a good shot at winning a Super Bowl and building a team around him. In fact, news out of New York this morning is that Dalvin Cook making his official visit with the Jets this weekend as they look to bring in some depth in the backfield. Owning a Mercedes-Benz, this update was presented by DraftKings.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. We still have some Danny Elfman tickets we're going to be giving away. It's going to be at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater August 3rd. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com or within the next, I'm going to say 24 minutes.
For sure.
For sure. In the next 24 minutes, you're going to get a shot at winning these things. And that's a show you're going to want to see.
Oh, yeah. I think both of those shows are going to be awesome. Rod Stewart and Danny Elfman.
Yeah, no doubt.
We were talking over the break, and I saw a video yesterday that put some stuff in perspective, like that was talking about the Barbie premiere and the Oppenheimer premiere and how much money they both brought in. I think globally, Barbie brought in like $356 million. Oppenheimer was around $250 million globally in the first weekend, which is awesome for both of them, awesome for movie theaters. But when you start thinking about it in terms of like NBA contracts, that's like buying you a bench player.
That's insane.
Because like there's been some people over the last decade or so who have signed these 4 or 5 year contracts worth like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, that's
it's just like, okay, so Barbie is one, not even a Steph Curry.
Wow. And you think about all the, hundreds of thousands of people it took at $12 a pop,
right,
to bring in that kind of dough for a movie theater, movie company. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's crazy. Najee Harris of the Steelers, he spoke out about Saquon Barkley. He said he got screwed, man. Big time.
I don't know if he got screwed. I think that's just the rate, but I do think the other running backs are probably a little peeved off.
Well,
now.
He makes pretty good sense here. He said Saquon accumulated for almost 30% of the offense for the Giants last year, and he's getting pennies on the dollar for that.
Sure.
Now, also, if you slid another player in that position, maybe it's not 30%, but there will be a large percentage, taken up if he's getting that many touches. It will happen. Well, okay. Maybe it depends, I suppose.
Yeah, I was talking about this with J Riff yesterday, and it's like the running backs are getting screwed. There's no way around that. Like the salary cap or the franchise tag has gone down over the last couple of years for the running back position, while every other position continues to go up and up and up. And it is unfortunate, but also NFL teams are not wrong for treating running backs the way they're treating them. Because unfortunately, when it comes down to it, it's a business, and the shelf life for running backs is just too short.
Well,
is it wrong? Yeah, but also it's business.
Yeah, and it's just like you said, you can probably pick up another running back that can be pretty good for far less money. So why are we going to spend the money and take up that much of the cap when we can, go on a much lower scale here and still almost get the same output? That's the problem.
And because of the movie Moneyball, analytics in baseball have moved so far to the front of the conversation.
Yeah.
Like you're paying a guy this much because he brings you X, Y, and Z. And you can literally look at all the numbers of the breakdown, and every front office does this to a certain extent. Some more than others, but every front office in baseball does this. Guess what? Every front office in football does it too. So they've looked at the numbers, and they're not dumb. Billionaires aren't dumb for the most part. They work hard for their money. They learn how to work their money, and they hire smart people to be able to make them more money. And they have understood that running backs only give you X amount of production, and you're paying them Y. It just doesn't make sense. So they figured it out, and running backs, unfortunately, are the ones who are going to get shafted. But let that be a lesson. If you have a kid who's a running back, maybe switch him over to slot receiver.
Yeah. Sean Payton, I'm just looking at this headline right now, calling out the Broncos, saying they got embarrassed last season.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was a total embarrassment last season. And I tell you what, man, the more Sean Payton speaks, me being a Bronco fan, the more I dig it.
I got a big decision to make, and maybe you can help me out with this.
Okay,
So,
okay.
you know, I'm in a dynasty league for football,
All right.
for fantasy. I'm also in a different dynasty league that's a little different. It's called a keeper league,
Okay.
where you keep 2 people.
Okay.
So I got to decide if I'm going to keep Russell Wilson this year or not.
Ugh.
I kept him last year, and that really ended up biting me in the ass. But he's been so good for me over the years.
Yeah, he has been solid, especially in fantasy.
Oh, he's been
Yeah,
huge.
right.
But moving over to Denver, I thought, it's either going to get better or stay the same, which staying the same would have been fine. But he was awful last year.
Awful. It did not stay the same. Look, I don't have a lot of faith in Russell Wilson right now, even as a Bronco
But I have
fan.
a lot of faith in Sean Payton.
I was just going to say the same thing. If anybody's going to fix him, it's Sean Payton, which gives me a little bit of hope. Geez, that is a tough call. You might have to give me a minute on that one.
I think I'm keeping him.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way, right? Conor McGregor mourning the loss of Sinead O'Connor, calling her an Irish treasure. I don't know if you recall a July 2015 McGregor fight. Yeah, there's Sinead. What did you call her? Sinead?
I don't know. I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
It does look, I mean, it is spelled Sinead. I don't know how you've never heard this. This was a massive song.
I guess the soul slow jam genre never got to me.
Yeah,
I
but
apologize.
if you tuned into any like easy listening radio station
Dude,
ever in the history of time, well, since whatever this came out in 1990.
From the time I was like 10 years old, I was either listening to sports radio or my LimeWire mix on my burnt CDs.
Wow. Well, he's mourning the loss of her. They're apparently very close, but an Irish treasure indeed. July 2015, Conor McGregor had a fight. Sinead O'Connor came out to sing the fight song as he walked out to the ring.
That's badass.
Yeah, it is badass. Which, by the way, I have the sound link in there, but you'll probably have to go. It's about 3.5 minutes long. You'll probably have to go about 2 minutes into it before you start to see Connor walk out and you can hear the crowd. But she sings The Foggy Dew, and it is being considered one of the best entrances to a UFC fight ever. And I don't think people are wrong. I mean, this was super cool. And I mean, a moving experience here as you did it. You're pulling it up here. Let's see if we can get that. You can get a little feel for
All
the
right,
Foggy
I'm
Dew.
a little bit of the way in, but this is where Connor starts to walk out.
Okay, good. I mean, it really does. Conor McGregor walking out, holding that Irish flag. I mean, it was absolutely incredible, and it'll give you all the goosebumps, all the feels as you watch it. I mean, it's cool. Very, very sad that Sinead O'Connor passes away at the age of 56. We don't know why yet. It appears that it's drugs. That's what it looks like. And she was fighting a lot of things her whole life. So very, very sad. Heart goes out to the family, indeed.
We really haven't talked much about the Aaron Rodgers deal.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we found out that there was going to be restructuring of his contract. That was in the morning. Later in the afternoon, Ian Rappaport released the news of how that restructuring was actually going down. It's massive. He's taken a $35 million pay cut from what was guaranteed to him by the Green Bay Packers, that the Jets assumed that whole contract. So when the Jets took it, they were expecting they were going to have to pay him the full contract. Now they don't. $35 million of cap space that they're allowed to play with over the next 2 years to try to build up this team around him. Now, last year, the Jets already had a top 5 defense with Robert Saleh, a defensive head coach, really one of the younger geniuses in the NFL when it comes to defensive design. And now he's adding an Aaron Rodgers to the team where the general manager has $35 million to go out and add to the offense, which had a couple of young studs on it last year between Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, who's going to be coming off an injury. But Garrett Wilson was one of the young, promising wide receivers from last year. Generally, rookie wide receivers don't hit right away. He was hitting with guys like Mike White and Zach Wilson. I can't imagine what it's going to be like with Aaron Rodgers. But if they're able to add, say, a Dalvin Cook, who's on a visit to New York this weekend, that's been confirmed. If they're able to add another wide receiver depth to add on to Allen Lazard, who already came over from Green Bay to New York with him, to Randall Cobb, who's Aaron Rodgers' best friend, who's probably going to play slot on like 15% of the downs this season, Jets could be serious contenders here.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Now, Dalvin Cook, does he get a Saquon Barkley $11 million deal?
Probably less with all the information that's come out about Dalvin Cook.
That's what I would think as well.
You could be talking about a $5 million deal for 1 year, but a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Exactly right. But let's say it's 10. Jets still have money to play with.
Oh yeah, $25 million gets you a long way.
Yeah, they still got money they could add here, which is incredible to think about of what they could do as far as adding to a team. Oh,
you
my
got to
gosh.
protect Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking the exact same thing. The problem is some of those offensive linemen are getting paid big dollar, a lot more than running backs.
Right, but I believe they have the left tackle in place, which that's the biggest money that you're going to offer. Center would be right after that. And then a right guard, left guard, some of them are highly paid. Like Andrew Whitworth for a while was really highly paid, but it's not. If left tackle's in place, you're okay in terms of the offensive line. Everyone else you can kind of fill in with good talent that's not super expensive.
I got you. I'm just saying, I mean, Jets are in a great spot.
I think so
with
too.
Rodgers making that deal. And if you're a Packer fan, you are pissed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a slap in the face here to
Never
the
once
Packers.
did Aaron Rodgers take a penny less than what he was owed. Never once did he take a penny less than what he was worth. And I don't fault him for that, by the way. Like the only person who's done this consistently over a career was Tom Brady, who probably left damn near $70 million on the table throughout his NFL career.
Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers doing this, I think that's huge.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. No, absolutely huge. And speaking of leaving money on the table, we brought this up a little earlier as well. Kylian Mbappe not taking $1 billion to play for the Saudis. That is mind blowing to me that you would turn that down. I mean, it's mind blowing. 1.1 for a year. It's not like you're locked in for life. $1.1 billion for a year. Now, yeah, right. It was $776 million after whatever the fee was to move him around, but $1 billion.
But I think I understand it because I don't know if it's similar to golf in terms of if you go to live, you weren't going to be welcome back to PGA. So like if that was kind of a stipulation where if you go play in this league, you're not going to be welcome back into the Premier League or the Champions League or wherever he was playing at the time. But legacies get built in one place. And if he's worried about that as a young soccer player, as one of the best young soccer players in the world, then I can understand the decision.
Man, I tell you what, I'd worry about my family being set for generations.
But they're already going to be. I think that's the point he was thinking. So like John Rahm and Rory McIlroy had a similar decision to face, and they decided to stay there. And there's a famous press conference from John Rahm where he said, I don't necessarily care about the money because I have enough money. I'm going to continue to make enough money where I won't have to worry about it ever.
I get it. I get that aspect.
It's just so hard for broke boys like you and me to be able to look at it and say no.
That is true. It is true. It's a lot different perspective.
But he's going to be $100 millionaire. He's probably going to be damn near a billionaire by the time he's done with soccer.
Look,
Messi turned down $1 billion also.
It's insane. The $35 million that Rodgers took on a pay cut would change my life exponentially forever. So
anyone's life who is not named Aaron Rodgers.
Right. I mean, it's incredible. Aaron Rodgers has to squeak by, by the way, on just $1 million this season.
Oh, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, look,
he's in New York now. He's going to get a lot more endorsements.
He'll be in top ramen. He'll be, and something tells me he hasn't spent every dollar that he's made.
Which, by the way, that's the other Saquon Barkley part of everything is that him signing that $10.1 million deal with $900,000 in incentives. He's also going to get quite a bit of He has quite a bit of endorsements for playing with the New York Giants. That's something that not necessarily every other running back who is complaining right now, which that's what it is having to deal with. They don't get those endorsements. Josh Jacobs doesn't, even though he's in Las Vegas, he just doesn't get that opportunity that Saquon Barkley has.
Yeah, but I mean, I think complaining is a bit of a strong.
No, that's the right word.
You sure though?
Yeah, I mean, it gives a negative connotation, but that's what it is. They're complaining that their position is no longer valued at the spot where they believe it should be.
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, if you put it in terms like that, I guess you are correct.
Like, is anyone faulting NFL teams for deciding to draft a running back, paying them on their rookie contract, giving them one franchise tag year, and then going back to the well and drafting a new running back? It makes sense when you see what's happened with Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell. It makes more sense to do it that way.
Yeah.
Now the NFL might need to make some rule changes where the rookie contract for running backs is only 2 years. They might need to do that.
Yeah, maybe. And I'm sure that things will evolve and change here as we move forward. But we were talking about that kind of money, or the money of maybe an NBA player compared to what's being made at the movie theaters. And yeah, that's mind blowing as well. But Barbie completely blowing up in the theaters. It's very, very popular. There's all kinds of Barbie stories out now. Did you know that Ken had a last name?
Who's Ken?
Barbie and Ken.
Okay.
But you don't know Ken of Ken and Barbie?
I think yes, I do.
You do? You know Ken?
No, I do, from the Toy Story movie.
Wow.
Is that Ryan Gosling's character?
Yeah,
Ken?
it is.
Okay.
It is. Which, by the way, Ryan Gosling, who is completely ripped in this movie. I don't know if you've seen previews of it at all, but apparently got that way with planks,
Carnivore diet.
Carnivore diet, planking, and pull-ups. So that's what we have to do if we want to be that ripped. And I don't know if I need to be that ripped.
Could you do a pull-up right now?
Right now I could do one.
I think that's the same.
Yeah, I'd hit one pull-up. That's where I'd get to. But apparently just Ken just isn't enough. We'll tell you why next. Apparently, Ken from Ken and Barbie has a last name. Yeah, I don't know why, but We'll discuss it, and we wrap things up here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch next. Yeah. Yeah. You do Sting. You do Sting on a Thursday morning.
I know this song.
You do. Do you know it from Sting or do you know it from Puffy?
I don't know what Puffy is.
P. Diddy. John P. Diddy Combs.
No, I think I know it from Sting.
You don't know who Puffy is?
I know. Puffy.
From Big Daddy?
I'm sorry.
I mean, well, Big Daddy. Gosh, Lord. Notorious B.I.G.
I know who that is.
Okay. And then his sidekick was John P. Diddy Puffy Combs.
I know the name P. Diddy. I didn't know Puffy.
Well, I think he was Puffy before P. Diddy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Still before I was born.
Man, oh man. Sting, by the way, you know what I like about Sting is his name is like present tense. It's not like stung or stinging
or Travis.
It's just Sting. Sting. Yeah, or Travis. It's Sting. But yeah, that's a good tune right there. Who's Sting, by the way, making a lot of money still from John P. Diddy Puffy Combs from sampling that.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And we'll do this before Knuff. Justin Fields, the quarterback of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Does he eclipse 4,000 passing yards this season?
That seems impossible.
Well, he promised it.
He laid it out. He threw the gauntlet down.
He said, no Bears quarterback has ever done it, and I promise I'll do it this year.
This year?
This year.
Wow. Well, maybe he knows something.
I'm going to take the under.
Yeah, I would take the under on that as well. Yeah, I would go last season he did 2,200 yards.
He did have he went over 1,000 rushing yards, which is incredible as a quarterback.
1,143 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. That is pretty incredible.
I mean, if you're looking at fantasy numbers, that does it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, if he does that and the 4,000 yards, he's your number one guy. He's your dude right there.
Dude, he's your MVP. If he throws for over 4,000 yards, rushes for over 1,000 yards, has 8 rushing touchdowns and 16 passing touchdowns, he is the league's MVP. And it's one of the best seasons in NFL history.
Justin Fields, he's your guy. No kidding. Apparently Ken from Ken and Barbie has a last name. People are really digging in deep here because of this Barbie movie. Ken's full name, Kenneth Sean Carson. He was named after the son of Barbie creator Ruth Handler, who co-founded Mattel with her husband Elliot.
Ruth Handler has nothing to do with Kenneth, Sean, or Carson.
Yeah, I don't really get it. But named after the son, maybe there's a son name in there. It doesn't say here, but man, I don't understand why people are going this nuts over Barbie.
Was it good?
It was fine. I mean, there's a very clear message in there that men are terrible.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So if you can get past that, just overlook it. I did laugh on a number of occasions.
I mean, we are
but-
pretty terrible creatures if you think about it.
Yeah, but I mean, pretty soon we're going to be real fit. Real fit. Who do we thank today, Ben?
We thank ground beef.
Yes, we do.
For this body.
Turkey bacon.
Also, Earl Grey Anderson talking about UFOs in a really powerful interview with Mark Neville, who's been the CEO of the Holiday Bowl for years. He came in talking about an event they have coming up this Sunday, which is a paddle out in the La Jolla shores. It's to support organ donation, who Mark is an organ donor himself, donated his kidney. And really cool message. If you missed it, free iHeartRadio app, check it out. And do what you can to help out. sportsandiego.org. Go check it out. We'll bring Mark back on next week to recap the event. But awesome interview with Mark.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Earl Grey Anderson, did you mention him already? Very nice, very nice. All the texters, thank you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Colin Coward and the Herd next.